This is Russia. Delicious cuisine. Beautiful women. Cheap gas. Rich history. World-famous literature. Unique architecture. Fertile soil. Cheap electricity and water. Ballet. Cheap taxi and delivery. Traditional values. Christianity. No cancel culture. Hospitality. Vodka. Economy that can withstand thousands of sanctions. Time to move to Russia. Don't delay. Winter is coming.
America's men and women in uniform need real leadership at the Pentagon. Character, courage, honor, experience. Those are what a real leader brings to the fight. Pete Hegseth isn't just unqualified to be Secretary of Defense. He's embarrassing, sick, struggles with alcohol, drunken rages in bars and strip clubs, fired from 2 veterans organizations for financial and personal misconduct. While at Fox, Hegseth paid off a woman after she reported he sexually assaulted her. Pete Hegseth's own mother calls him an abuser of women. These aren't the qualities of a leader. They're weaknesses for our enemies to exploit. Pete Hegseth isn't just unqualified. He isn't just unprepared. Pete Hegseth is downright dangerous for our troops. He's a risk America can't take.
But you...
Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm back from my, well, shit, what's it been, like 2 weeks? Little less than 2 weeks? A little more than 2 weeks? I don't know. But I'm back. Needed to go touch some grass. Touch all the grass. Touch copious amount of grass. You know? I mean... I think this is gonna be how it goes from now on. I think I'm just gonna, you know... come back, go really hard in the paint for like 2 months or so, and then I'm gonna take like a 2-week break. Because, yeah, you know, with just me doing this shit all the time, like no employees to help me out or anything, I mean, this shit is absolutely exhausting. I am just burnt the fuck out after a couple months of this, just... You know, it's not even that the news is bad. It's just that, like, no, you know what? The news is bad. The news is, like, all bad all the time. And here's the thing. The news is, like, exactly, weirdly the same to what it was 10 years ago. You think about it. Like, the Russia and Ukraine shit was still happening 10 years ago. 2014, we had, you know, that shit going on. We had Israel-Palestine. That was all the same. We even had Trump. You know, but it was all less bad than it is today. You know, there was just annexing Crimea with Russia and Ukraine. So it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't the whole country that was being invaded, and Gaza hadn't been completely fucking annihilated. You know, they were just shooting missiles back and forth. You know, it was, and even Trump, the lies were there, but, you know, it was just a couple. It was just, you know, lying about Obama's birth certificate, you know, like, and now everything is exactly the same as it was 10 years ago. Just way worse in every way. It's weird. It's interesting, you know, like what's that saying? History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes, you know. That's where we're at, kind of seems. But yeah, you know, I don't know, needed to take a break, needed to get away, just take a couple weeks off and I don't know, separate from the overwhelming sense of doom that the news, just overexposure to the news will do to you. But yeah, I'm feeling good, so I don't know, maybe you'll get an extra two or so months out of me before I disappear again. But hey, you know what? I feel like I'm doing good, because last time I disappeared for 6 months, and this time I only disappeared for 2 weeks, so we're getting better. You know, and I did some redecorating. How do you like it? I put up some lights, put up a tree, getting into the the spirit? How was your Thanksgiving? Did you, I don't know, murder any of your distant relatives for talking about politics too much? I mean, I don't know. Are you excited? Are you excited for Christmas? Are you excited to hear the same 6 songs over and over and over again anytime you walk into a store for the next, what, like 3 weeks? 2 weeks? When is Christmas? I don't know. I'm so not in the mood for this. Just the dread of having to listen to this rambling jackass for the next hour and a half. This is going to be the next 4 years. We're going to do 4 years of every single thing this idiot says is going to need to be fact checked because he can't go a single fucking sentence without lying about something. But yeah, if you couldn't tell from the title of the video, Trump did his first interview since the election. And as you can guess, it was just a lie fest, a never-ending stream of lies that we're now going to have to fact check because, I don't know. You know what? I don't even know if there's a fucking point to it anymore. I really don't. But we're, just for the sake of content, let's go take a peek at what the fucking lying sack of shit had to say this time. It's probably just a rerun of all the bangers he was dropping during the fucking campaign trail. So there's probably not a whole hell of a lot of new ones in there. But hey, why not? Let's just see what he's got for us, shall we? All right. Let's go.
President-elect Donald Trump, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here. You are the first president since Grover Cleveland to win non-consecutive terms.
Mm-hmm.
Republicans now have control of the House and the Senate.
Right.
What do you plan to accomplish in your first one?
I can tell already. I hate this woman. I cannot stand this woman. I don't know what the fuck her name is. Something Welker. Christy Welker or some shit like that. She absolutely fucking sucks. I can tell already this is going to be a softball fucking interview. She's not going to push back on any of the dumb shit he says simply because she's the one doing the interview. So just get ready for that. Just get ready for her to just let him skate on everything with zero pushback. I'm going to be doing a lot of fact checking because she's not going to fucking push back on a single thing he says. Watch.
100 days in office.
Well, we're going to do something with the border, and very strong, very powerful. That'll be our first signal, and a first signal to America that we're not playing games. We have people coming in by the millions, as you know, and a lot of people shouldn't be here. Most of them shouldn't be here, but we have jails being emptied into our country. We have mental institutions from all over the world being emptied into our country. So,
oh my God. Like literally the first fucking sentence is a lie. The first sentence, dude. I'm not even gonna get through this. I'm not even gonna get through this all. Like, we can't fact check every single fucking thing he says because they're all lies. Single thing is a lie. Oh, prisons. What do you even type in? Just no, prisons are not being emptied into. Okay, here, the prisons being emptied into the U.S. My job in Venezuela does not. Oh, fucking Christ. God, this is so exhausting. It's only been like one sentence, and he's already lied about something. Crime drop in Venezuela does not prove Trump's claim that the country is sending criminals to the U.S. Trump's claim. In recent speeches, Trump has sometimes said that the crime rate is down a staggering 67% in Venezuela, while at other times he puts the drop in crime at 72% in a year. But in each case, as he did in a video posted to social media on June 4th, he cited statistics to support his claim. They're dragging all the dumb shit he just said. Venezuelan crime stats. Reliable crime statistics in Venezuela are notoriously difficult to obtain, so that's why he chooses Venezuela so much, because he can just make them up because they don't have accurate crime stats. What is it? Mike Lusa, Deputy Director of Content and Insight Crime at think tank focused on crime and security in the Americas, told us via email. In the absence of reliable government reporting, media and non-governmental organizations has become the most trusted source for documenting and tracking crime. One such NGO, the Independent Venezuelan Observatory of Violence, in December reported a 25% decrease in violent deaths between 2022 and 2023. Violent deaths include homicides, deaths by police intervention, and suspected violent deaths under investigation. That drop was widely reported in the U.S. media, as Trump is citing the murder tally as a proxy of overall crime. He's vastly overstating the one-year drop. No shit. What's driving the crime drop? In its annual report of violence in 2023, OVV documented 6,973 violent deaths in 2023, and about 14% of which resulted from police enforcement. That's down from 9,447 and 9,367 in 2021 and 2022, respectively. That's a decline of 26% in the reported number of violent deaths between 2021 and 2023 from police enforcement. You know, that thing that Trump said he was gonna go just let cops do whatever they want. Like, I fucking hate him so much. All right, let's get on to his next lie.
We'll be doing that. We're going to be extending within that period, or as soon as we can, the Trump tax cuts, because, you know, they're coming due and they're very substantial for people. And it would be very, I think it will anger a lot of people, frankly, if we don't get an extension of that. That's what led us to one of the greatest economies ever. And those two things are going to be very, very...
You mean it added $2 trillion in debt to the deficit, you sack of shit, and did nothing for anybody that wasn't a fucking billionaire or a millionaire?
Vital, very important. We're going to be focusing on crime in the cities, and we'll work with Democrat governors. Most of them are, as you know, if you look at the 25 worst places, they're just about all Democrat-controlled cities and states, and we're going to be working with Democrats.
Really? Are they? Are they? Let's take a quick peek here. 25 worst states. Worst states by, I don't know, economy. Oh, geez. Hey, look at all these Democrat-led states. Louisiana, Alabama, Vermont, Wyoming, Alaska. Yeah, all those Democrat places. All those Democrat states. Oh, he's so fucking full of shit. Whatever. This is going to take like 5 hours if I fact check everything.
Democrat governors and Democrat mayors, and I look forward to doing it. But we have to do something about crime, and mostly in our cities. And we're going to have a lot of other things. We'll be... working on nominations. We're going to still be working on some nominations. I think they're going very well. We have, for the most part, I think they're going extremely well. It looks like...
Yeah, they're going so extremely well that one guy had to drop out because of allegations that he screwed a 17-year-old, and another guy just dropped out because of some other fucking allegations. Like, yeah, they're going great. By the way, that's not normal. Nobody is supposed to drop out when you're being nominated for a cabinet. And by the way, it's also not normal for him to be rushing through cabinet picks as fast as he is. This is really not normal. None of this shit is normal.
Peter's doing well now. I mean, people were a little bit concerned. He's a young guy with a tremendous track record, actually. He went to Princeton and went to Harvard. He was a good student at both. But he loves the military, and I think people are starting to see it. So we'll be working on his nomination along with a lot of others.
We are going to...
Not as much as he loves raping and drinking, though. You gotta deal with those pesky details at the confirmation hearing there, bud. Don't think it's going to go too well.
Delve into your nominations, but since you bring him up, do you still have confidence in Pete Hegseth?
Yes, I do. I really do. He's a very smart guy. I've known him through Fox, but I've known him for a long time. And he's basically a military guy. I mean, every time I talk to him, all he wants to talk about is the military. He's a military guy. I used to kid him about it. I didn't think he would be in this position where he may be, hopefully will be Secretary of Defense. But every time I was with him, he was fighting for soldiers, where he said some soldier was unjustly put in prison because they were really doing what they were taught to do, in some cases. So, yeah, I think he's going to do fine.
The fact that there are these allegations against him, misconduct, sexual misconduct, heavy drinking, the fact that he said to some senators reportedly he'll stop drinking if he gets this job, does that worry you?
No, I think that
No, I think that it's actually a good idea to have the military being run by a drunk. I mean, do you not see the brilliant strategy? How will our enemies know what to do when they're dealing with a drunk guy? You know, it seems smart, don't you think? Come on, Kristen, get with it. Get with it, babe. There's only one person listening at the moment. You're dead wrong on most of your talking points. Cool. Well, how about you get the fuck out here, guy? Feel free to fuck off.
everybody has something that they can stop. Some people can stop eating. I'm lucky I'm not a drinker, but I could stop eating. And we all want to stop doing something. And if he said that, I mean, it's a nice thing to say. That's a good thing to say. But he's very respected. I can tell you, I know a lot of the people at Fox, they think he's fantastic.
Yeah, the great arbiters of fucking decency, the guys at Fox. How many of your hosts were nabbed for sexual assault and Bill O'Reilly? What? How many goddamn claims were there against good old Bill O'Reilly? Didn't he originate from Fox? BLM is in bankruptcy? What the fuck are you... Who the fuck was talking about BLM? You goddamn retard. Jesus Christ. I hate live streaming so much. Anyway, let's finish this shit.
And the people that work with him, really, they love him. So I think you're going to have somebody that's really terrific. And again, all he talked about with me, I said, you're not really a television guy, even though he did very well, as you know. You're really a military guy. He said, I'm all about the military. And I told him, so he's making a lot of money at Fox. They're doing very well. And I said, if for some reason you don't get this thing, you're not going to be able to go back. And all that money you're making, you can kiss it goodbye. He said, this is all about America. He didn't say, well, let me think about it, let me discuss it. That's a very big, risky thing he's doing. When he goes and he says, I'm going to give up, millions of dollars in order to possibly become the Secretary of Defense. A lot of people would say it's a great position. It's probably almost no greater position, but a lot of people would say, I have to think about it. He said, I don't have to think about it.
All right, we're going to delve into your cabinet picks a little bit later, but I want to delve into one of your signature promises on the campaign trail, which was to end inflation, to lower prices. You are now proposing tariffs against the United States' three biggest trading partners. Economists of all stripes say that ultimately consumers pay the price of tariffs.
I don't believe
Can
it.
you guarantee American families won't pay more?
I can't guarantee anything. I can't guarantee tomorrow, but I...
Dude, what? I'm sorry. What? Wasn't that his whole thing? I thought his whole thing was, I'm going to lower prices, and Biden, he's ruined the economy, and nobody can do anything, but I'm going to save you. I'm your savior. Wasn't that his whole fucking thing? I'm sorry. Was his whole thing not, I'm going to fix everything, and Biden's destroying the country, and I'm going to... What the fuck was all that? You can't guarantee anything now? Oh my God, dude. This is a joke. This is a joke. This is what you guys voted for. I love that so many people voted for this fucking idiot specifically for him to lower prices, and now he's just like, I can't guarantee anything. What are you guys looking at me for? It's just so fucking stupid. Oh my God, dude. I don't know. We'll see. That was his whole thing. His whole thing was promising that he was going to get prices down, and Biden was ruining the economy and everything sucked because of Biden, and he was going to fix it all. That's what he said. And now it's just, I don't know. I can't guarantee anything. Durr.
Can say that if you look at just pre-COVID, we had the greatest economy in the history of our country. And I had a lot of tariffs on a lot of different countries, but in particular China. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars, and we had no inflation. In fact, when I handed it over, they didn't have inflation for a year and a half. They went almost 2 years just based on what I had created. And then they created inflation with energy and with spending too much.
Yeah, they invented inflation. God damn, all that global inflation after the pandemic, Joe Biden invented it and spread it around the world, don't you know? By the way, everything he just said is bullshit. Let's take a quick peek here. Biden inflation. Trump falsely claimed that inflation was so low during his presidency that the Biden administration didn't have inflation for a year and a half. They went almost 2 years just based on what I had created. In reality, there was cumulative inflation of about 14% over Joe Biden's first 2 years as president. Huh! Well, I don't suppose you'll be taking credit for that, will you there, orange fuckface? No? Shocking. Let's see what else we got here. Fact check, Trump's cost, terrorist cost, fact checking, Trump's interview. Okay, when I handed it over to Biden, they didn't have any inflation for a year and a half. What else we got? Mainly because, inflation was about 1% late in Trump's term, mainly because COVID-19 had drastically slowed many types of economic activity. However, the rise in inflation under President Joe Biden began sooner than Trump said. During the Biden presidency's first 6 months, many Americans received COVID-19 vaccines and the economy began to reemerge, stoking consumer demand as supplies lagged. Year-over-year inflation hit 4.9% in May 2021, 4 months into Biden's term, which marked its highest levels in about 13 years. From there, inflation kept rising, peaking at about 9% a year and a half into Biden's term. Inflation began to spike just 4 months into Biden's term. Huh, wow. Look at all this. I thought you gave him a perfect economy with no inflation there, Orange Man. What's all this? Look at all that. It wasn't 2 years. 2 years, he said. So right here, when he left office, January 2021, so he's taking credit for all of this, huh? That's nice of him. Hey, thanks, Trump.
So I think we will. I'm a big believer in tariffs. I think tariffs are the most beautiful word. I think they're beautiful. It's going to make us rich. We're subsidizing Canada to the tune of over $100 billion a year. We're subsidizing Mexico for almost $300 billion. We shouldn't be subsidized. Why are we?
Just to be perfectly clear about how unfathomably fucking stupid this man is, when he says that we're subsidizing Mexico and subsidizing Canada, what he's referring to is a goddamn trade deficit. Because that's how little this fucking retard understands anything to do with the economy. He's talking about a trade deficit, which is a good thing, by the way. He fucking, oh my God. Should I even Google that? Should I even look that one up just to be like, oh God. You know what? Why not? Why not? just to highlight how fucking stupid he is. Trump, subsidizing Canada and Mexico. If we're subsidizing, let them go. Where should we even go? The Economist Times. He's talking about a fucking trade deficit. He's so goddamn dumb, he doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about. Oh, I hate him so much. If we're subsidizing Canada and Mexico, let them come. Subsidizing. He doesn't even know what a fucking trade deficit is. He's literally already done this. He's already done this. This is the fucking thing. This isn't like his first crack at it. He was already the president for 4 years. Oh my God. We're subsidizing Canada to the tune of $100 billion a year. We're subsidizing Mexico to almost 300. We shouldn't be subsidizing. If we're subsidizing these countries, if we're going to subsidize them, let them become a state of the U.S. Trump told NBC News in an interview. Trump refuted the observation that by some American CEO, okay, yada yada, but it didn't cost the country anything. Okay, so it's just gonna be verbatim what he said. Yeah, I know what he said. Just. We're subsidizing Canada, Mexico. Oh my god. He's so fucking dumb. Observing the U.S. is subsidizing. Observing the U.S. is subsidizing? Oh my fucking god. Okay, let's just. This is the sane washing the media does. This is what you're gonna be getting a lot of to stay on Trump's good side. Trump doesn't understand trade deficit. Trump hates 2019, 2020. Oh my god. NBC interview. Reached tariff threats, Australia fact-checking Trump on Meet the Press, New York Times analysis about 100-day plan, fact-checking press interview. Interview, effect. This is, this is the fucking crazy part. All these fact checks, they have like 6 things listed on here. So, like, just in the first, we're not even 5 minutes into this interview, he's lied like at least once per sentence. And they're not even covering 90% of what he's saying. If these are the only 6 things that they're gonna cover, and that's like PBS, CNN, PolitiFact, ABC. Actually, no, some of these aren't even the fact checks to the actual interview. These are the ones that I went for because I was getting so infuriated at how shitty the actual fact checks were. Oh my god, Trump doesn't understand trade deficits. NBC fact check, maybe. Factcheck.org, January 6th, fact check and Trump's proposed tariffs. You think it would be in the tariff section? It would probably be in the tariff section. Tariffs cost Americans nothing. The Trump administration pointed to a coalition of tariff levying country. Fully applied North America. New tariffs on Canada would also spike gasoline prices. Yes. Okay, but tell us where he's fucking calling trade deficit a fucking subsidy. You know what? Just know that's what this idiot's referring to when he says subsidizing Canada, the U.S. I'm not gonna go searching for the exact fucking phrase, but he's talking about a trade deficit because he's so fucking economically illiterate that he doesn't even know the proper goddamn term.
Countries, if we're going to subsidize them, let it become a state. We're subsidizing Mexico, and we're subsidizing Canada, and we're subsidizing many countries all over the world. And all I want to do is I want to have a level, fast, but fair playing field.
Sir, your previous tariffs during your first...
No pushback. None. No pushback on that. Just, yep, you sure you're next. Right on to the next question. What the fuck? No pushback whatsoever. And you know why? It's because this little fucking spineless bitch, look at the way he sits like a fucking child. But like, Jesus Christ, the only reason he agreed to this is because that there was some stipulation that there would be no fact checking whatsoever.
Cost Americans some $80 billion. And now you have major companies from Walmart, Black & Decker, AutoZone saying that any tariffs are going to force them to drive up prices for their consumers. How do you make sure that these CEOs, that these companies don't, in fact, pass on the cost of tariffs to their consumers?
They cost America.
He doesn't. Spoiler alert, he fucking doesn't. Because he can't. There's literally nothing he can do to guarantee that because they're literally already doing it. Walmart literally said that they're gonna have to raise their prices if Trump's tariffs fucking kick in. It's fucking insane. You know how many companies are already cutting their employees' bonuses, Christmas bonuses for this year, just because they have to order extra product from overseas because they know that this dipshit's fucking tariffs are gonna fuck them over just like they did last time?
Nothing. They made a great economy for us. They also solve another problem. If we were going to have problems having to do with wars and having to do with other things, tariffs, I have stopped wars with tariffs by saying, you guys want to fight, it's great, but both of you are going to pay tariffs to the United States at 100%. And they have many purposes, tariffs, if properly used. I don't say you use them like a madman. I say properly used. But it didn't cost this country anything. It made this country money, and we never really got the chance to go all out because we had to fight COVID in the last part, and we did it very successfully. And when I handed it over to Biden, the stock market was higher than what it was just previous to COVID coming in. It was actually higher.
Don't you love how he was going to do everything, but COVID came along. Just that last year, guys, I was holding off on doing all the good shit until the last 10 months of my presidency. And COVID came along and screwed it up. God, it just sucks, you know? It sucks. It's so convenient how COVID is his excuse for not doing any of the shit he promised to do, and how Democrats and Biden can't use COVID as an excuse for anything. Isn't that weird how that works? It's Trump's excuse for everything, but Biden and them can't use COVID as an excuse for fucking anything. Nope, all that inflation was just because Joe Biden wanted more of your money. That's what it was.
Tariffs are properly used, are a very powerful tool, not only economically, but also for getting other things outside of economics.
Well, again, prices did go up on some goods in your first administration, washing machines, tires. Will you punish CEOs?
Let me just explain to you. No. You mentioned washing machines. So you look at Whirlpool in Ohio. I got a call from Jim Jordan, one of the greats, congressman from Ohio.
One of the greats who didn't fucking act on multiple sexual assault allegations at a high school. One of the greats who's been in Congress for 16 years and hasn't passed a single fucking bill. One of the greats, guys.
And he said, they're going out of business because South Korea and China are dumping washing machines into our country. And I put a 50% tariff on the washing machines coming in from China and South Korea. And Whirlpool and the companies that made washing machines, which are based in Ohio, largely based in Ohio, went through the roof. We saved thousands of jobs, tens of thousands of jobs. They were all going out of business because they were dumping washing machines. And when I put the tariffs on
them, everything was magically solved by my amazing tariffs. Cool. Now let's see what actually happened, since we know that's bullshit. Trump, tariffs, washing machines. Literally the first one. Trump's washing machine tariffs stung consumers while what? While lifting corporate profits. So of course it wasn't a massive success by Trump standards because he raised the corporate profits. That's the only thing that matters. His billionaire buddies got richer. Come on, guys, look at the bright side. I mean, you schmucks were paying more, but think of the billionaires. God, you knew it was going to be some bullshit. You knew it was going to be something. If he says, oh, it worked out great, everybody loved it. Oh, it must be his rich buddies, and everybody else got fucked over.
They became successful businesses. No, it didn't. Not only didn't it cost people, it made our country stronger and more powerful, and it kept jobs.
But how do you make sure that consumers don't wind up paying more? Will you punish CEOs who try to pass the cost of tariffs onto their customers?
Well, the market's going to take care of it. I mean, actually, the market takes care of it.
Yeah, the market takes care of it, guys. Remember last time where, he raised the tariffs on soybeans and then had to bail out farmers with a $12 billion subsidy? Remember that one? Where his magical tariffs, oh God, they just solved the whole farming crisis, didn't they? Trump tariffs, farmers, what was it, 2019? China implemented retaliatory tariffs equivalent to 34 billion tariff imposed on it by the U.S. in July 2018. The Trump administration announced it would use a Great Depression era program because you're on the right track when you're stealing tactics from the Great Depression. Come on, to pay farmers up to 12 billion, increasing the age from 20. It's so fucking, oh my God, because why would he learn anything from the first time his bullshit tariffs didn't work?
If it doesn't, we adjust it somewhat. But in the case of Whirlpool, or let's say companies that made washing machines, they were all being put out of business by the dumping from, in particular, South Korea and China. And when I put the tariffs on, very substantial tariffs, although peanuts compared to what people do to us, what countries do to us, it became a very, very powerful, successful company. Now, let's say I didn't do the tariffs. It would have gone out of business. You would have lost tens of thousands of jobs, and you don't include that in your equation. No, they make a lot of money. I'll go a step further. Tariffs are going to make our country rich. Tariffs are going to help us pay off $35 trillion in debt. Tariffs are going to make our country safe. Because China, as an example.
You see, this is why he does so well with his brain dead base, because he can just say shit. He doesn't actually speak in policy. He speaks in slogans. Tariffs are going to make us rich. Tariffs are going to make America great. Tariffs are going to solve all the world's problems. He's not actually saying anything. He's just saying the word tariff and then following it up with whatever he hopes the outcome's going to be. And his fucking moronic base goes, yeah, tariffs good. Trump say so. Like, this is what the Democrats need to be better at, is just dumbing down policies so they don't sound like policies. Because people get overwhelmed with nuance and detail. They can't snap it out in a quick, punchy, 3-word slogan. So they don't really, it doesn't help them in an argument. When you can just say, make America great again, durr, and that's not only a slogan, but it's also a policy, you get way farther with the double-digit IQ crowd that he panders to.
Doesn't want to play games with us if we're going to do tariffs on them. They don't want to play games. And we have a lot of games being played on us right now.
Well, I think, and that takes me to my next question. Yeah. Are you actually going to impose these tariffs, or are they a negotiating tactic?
Well, I'll give you an example. With Canada, and in particular Mexico, we have millions of people pouring into our country. You agree with that? I spoke with the...
By the way, the number of people that crossed the border from Canada was 23,000. Millions, he says. Millions. Yeah, I gotta really clamp down that border between Canada and Mexico.
Both. I spoke with Justin Trudeau.
Mexico, yeah, I mean, you gotta do something about that one. But Canada is just a fucking joke to lump that one in there.
In fact, he flew to Mar-a-Lago within about 15 seconds after the call ended. Yeah. He was at Mar-a-Lago. We were having dinner talking about it. I said, you have to close up your borders because they're coming in the northern border, too, a lot. Not like the southern border, but they're coming in the Canadian border a lot. And drugs are pouring in. Almost as importantly, drugs are pouring in, maybe more importantly, drugs are pouring in at levels never seen before, 10 times what we had. They're just pouring in. We can't have open borders. And I said to...
By the way, that's not true either. I mean, the amount of fentanyl that's being seized at the border, which is what you want it seized, as in not entering the country, has skyrocketed from his administration. It's like, I think, what is it exactly? It's like, I want to get exact numbers here, but I know it's a fucking shit ton more than during fentanyl. fentanyl seizures at the border by year. Yeah, it's 1,000,000% more than what his administration was. Drug seizure statistics. What do we got here? Please just give me a regular fucking chart. Of course they can't do that. Methamphetamine, cocaine. This is 2022. Type, regen, reset filter, 2025, 2022. Where the fuck do you pick the year on here? Ugh. Come on, fiscal year, area of responsibility. Fuck. First user in history. Board. First action 2024 to 2025 is gonna. This is fucking. Whatever. I'll find it later.
The president of Mexico and to Justin Trudeau, if it doesn't stop, I'm going to put tariffs on your country at about 25%. That's a very substantial tariff. And in the case of, in both cases, but in the case where it was really visible, within 10 minutes after that phone call, we noticed that the people coming across the border, the southern border, having to do with Mexico, they were at a trickle, just a trickle. It was, in fact, I call the border. See, unlike my opponent, I do call the border a lot. And I said, how's the border looking today? They said, there's nobody here. They couldn't believe it. The military stopped these vast groups of people. You know, we call them caravans, but they had caravans of people, and they largely stopped them. Now, they're going to have to continue that, but if they don't continue, and the other thing I told them is no more drugs, and I told that to China, too. I had to deal with President.
By the way, nothing he just said is true. There is no military breaking up the caravans. The president of Mexico specifically said that she was there was no change to her fucking policy after their little phone conversation. President of Mexico. Disputes Trump's claims. This is a response to Trump's claim that she agreed to stop. Yeah. In response to Trump's claim she agreed to stop migration, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum has sought to clarify details of the conversation she had with U.S. President-elect Donald Trump after the two leaders offering differing accounts of the call. Following Wednesday's call, Trump said Sheinbaum had agreed to stop migration through Mexico and into the United States, effectively closing the southern border. This prompted Sheinbaum to say that she had merely reiterated Mexico's position, which she said was not to close the border, but to build bridges between governments and people. Yeah, kind of sounds a little different there. Who am I going to believe? The pathological liar or the president of Mexico? Decisions. He's only lied like, what, a dozen times since this fucking interview started?
President Xi, had the election been different, I'm going to be very nice because we don't have to get into an argument over 2020, but had the election been different, the result been different?
You mean you not losing? Is that what you mean? Is that what you mean with the result being different? That you didn't fucking lose like you did? You fucking jackass.
We've had China giving their maximum penalty, which is the penalty of death, to people that sent fentanyl into this country. But Biden didn't, unfortunately, finish that discussion up. I had an agreement with President Xi, who I got along with very well. We've had communication as recently as this week. And I had communication with him where they were going to give the death penalty to anybody sending drugs into the United States.
This week you had that conversation.
Not that conversation, but I had other conversations. Okay. But in the past, I've had that conversation.
Let me ask you about another aspect of the economy, sir, the minimum wage. The federal minimum wage has been $7.25 since 2009. There are 20 states that still have the federal minimum wage at $7.25. And I actually have a map. 19 of these states actually voted for you, sir. Mm-hmm. And you can see it right here.
Good. Good. Let them get what they fucking voted for. Good, you dummies. Good. I hope you enjoy that $7.25 an hour, because it ain't budging under this jackass. So fucking enjoy it. Good. Let these idiots hurt. This is the guy that was going to solve all your problems. Remember, the price of eggs, guys. Like about the price of eggs. Good.
I don't know if you remember this, but during the debate in 2020, I asked you if you would raise the minimum wage. You said you would consider it. And so my question for you is, now that you are going back to the White House, for these 19 states that voted for you, are you going to raise the federal
It's a very low
minimum wage?
number. I will agree. It's a very low number. Let me give you the downside, though.
Yeah.
In California, they raised it up to a very high number. And your restaurants are going out of business all over the place. The population is shrinking. It's had a very negative impact. But there is a level at which you could do it, absolutely. Yeah.
What is that level, do you
I don't
think?
know. I mean, I really don't know. I can say this. You have a lot of businesses that are open and thriving because of the lower minimum wage. If you raise it too much, and you understand this, if California went crazy. They went crazy. And people, the restaurants are closing all over. Many more people are hurt.
So I hear you saying, similarly to sort of what you said in 2020, will you consider? Is this something you're going to look at?
I'd want to speak to the governors. And the other thing that's very complicated about minimum wages is places are so different. Mississippi and Alabama and great places are very different than New York or California. I mean, in terms of the cost of living and other things. So it would be nice to have just a minimum wage for the whole country, but it wouldn't work because you have places where it's very inexpensive to live, where a minimum wage, which is $8 or $9, might be, might have very little effect because the cost of living in certain places is really low.
Before we move on to immigration, which I do want to talk about, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell.
Holy shit, he actually said something true there for once. I'm kind of in shock right now. But yeah, that last part is true. I mean, you can't have a blanket minimum wage across the entire country because there's so many different places where the cost of living is like, it fluctuates from one state to the next. So yeah, a blanket minimum wage would be harder, but yeah, wow, he actually stumbled into something like true there for a second. Probably purely by accident, just ass backwards stumbled into it by pure coincidence, but he actually said something true for once, guys. Come on. This is a big moment. Ugh.
Powell said he will not leave his post even if you ask him to. Will you try to replace Jerome Powell?
No, I don't think so. I don't see it, but I think if I told him to, he would, but if I asked him to, he probably wouldn't, but if I told him to, he would.
You don't have plans to do that right now?
No, I don't.
Okay, let's talk about mass deportation, one of your big agenda items. You've talked about prioritizing people who have criminal histories.
Correct.
But is it your plan to deport everyone who is here illegally over the next 4 years?
Well, I think you have to do it, and it's a very tough thing to do. But you have to have, you have rules, regulations, laws. They came in illegally. The people that have been treated very unfairly are the people that have been online for 10 years to come into the country. And we're going to make it very easy for people to come in.
Well, you know what? I actually agree with him on that one, too, because if you've been online for 10 years, you need faster internet.
And in terms of they have to pass the test.
I realize that stupid people just say online instead of inline because they're dumb, but I mean, online is computers. Inline is when you're standing. You are the line. If there's a person in front of you and a person behind you and you're standing with them, you are the line. You're in line. You're not online. Say it right, you dummies.
They have to be able to tell you what the Statue of Liberty is. They have to tell you a little bit about our country. They have to love our country. They can't come out of prisons. We don't want people that are in for murder. So we had 11,000 and 13,000 different estimates, 13,099 murderers released into our country over the last 3 years. They're walking down the streets. They're walking next to you and your family, and they're very dangerous.
The 13,000 figure, I think, goes back about 40 years.
No, it doesn't. No,
That
it's within the 3-year
13,000
period. It's during the Biden term. No, that was a fiction that they put that out. This was done.
That was a fiction that he put that out. That was a fiction, guys. Anything that goes against his horseshit lies is a fiction. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. The first time she actually does the slightest pushback on anything, he immediately goes, actually, that was a fiction. That was a fiction, guys. Oh, sorry. You guys don't get the real facts. We get the facts over here on Truth Social. I've looked this up before, but sure, let's do it again, just for shits and giggles. Where does that 13,000 come from? Yeah, and it is like under the past like 5 or 6 administrations, including his. But yeah, that's the fiction. That's the fictional number. The U.S. let in 13,099 murderers within the 3-year period, and it's during the Biden term. False. In a letter released in September, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, a federal agency, said there were 13,099 non-citizens convicted of homicide who were not in immigration detention. However, this data refers to people who entered the country over the past 40 years, including under Trump, which Welker pointed out. There is no evidence that all 13,099 people entered in a single 3-year period under Biden. Also, many people included in this number are not in immigration detention because they are serving prison sentences. So they're not just wandering around, like he says. But, that's a fiction, guys. Gosh darn it, I was hoping that'd be true, but according to the arbiter of truth, Orange McGee over here, it was all a fiction. But yeah, we'll take his word for it, I guess.
By the Border Patrol. It's 13,099, and it's during the Biden period of time. And these are murderers, many of whom murdered more than one person. You don't want those people in this country.
But you're saying something, sir, that's significant. I just want to make sure I'm clear, which is that you're saying, yes, you're going to focus on the people with criminal histories, but everyone who's here illegally has to go.
I'm saying this. We have to get the criminals out of our country. We have to get people that were taken out of mental institutions and put them back into their mental institution, no matter what country it is. Do you know that Venezuela, their prisons are at the lowest point in terms of emptiness that they've ever been? They're taking their people out of those prisons by the thousands, and they're drunk. And just to get back, because I know exactly what you're getting at. Number one, we're doing criminals, and we're going to do them really.
See how he just had to stop himself mid bullshit there because he knows he's lying. That's why he just stops mid sentence so often, because it doesn't matter what the fuck he's saying, because it's all fucking not true. Oh my God. Venezuelan crime statistics. Let's see. Trump's claim. In recent speeches, Trump has sometimes claimed that crime is down a staggering 67% in Venezuela, while at other times he's put the drop in crime at 72% in a year. But in each case, as he did in a video posted on Truth, there are drug dealers. Yeah. That's what he said. In this report, we'll focus on Venezuela because it's a country most often cited by Trump. Carlos Nieto of the Venezuelan non-governmental organization A Window into Freedom, of course. Well aware of Trump's relentless insistence. Venezuelan crime stats. Reliable crime statistics. Oh yeah, so we already did this one. So an NGO. Blah, 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 blah. The number of violent deaths has been declining for years in Venezuela, according to the group tallies. It's nearly 70% lower than it was in 2018, according to Roberto, whoever, founder, director of whatever. That corresponds with Trump's figure, but of course that is much longer time frame than that predates the Biden administration. Well, shit, that doesn't fit the narrative. Come on. How are we supposed to blame this all on Biden? Jesus.
Rapidly, we're getting the worst gang probably with MS-13, and the Venezuelan gangs are the worst in the world. They're vicious, violent people. And you see what they've done in Colorado and other places. They're taking over, literally taking over apartment complexes and doing it with impunity. They don't care. They couldn't. They just are. They're in the real estate business.
The local police say that is not the case in Colorado.
Oh, it's totally the case. I mean, I have it
you
on
don't
tape.
believe the local police.
I play it. I used to play it at my rallies every single night. No, they're breaking into doors. They're taking over the building.
But sir, you
and by the way, the
point,
police are afraid to do anything.
You raised the point that the logistics are complicated. You said
Sure
it yourself. You would
but everything's complicated.
Yeah, you need 24 times more ICE detention capacity just to deport 1 million people per year, not to mention more agents, more judges, more planes. Is it realistic to deport everyone who's here?
You have no choice.
It's almost
almost as though you listed literally every single fucking thing that was in that bill that he killed back in January of last year or this year. You know, the strongest border bill that's been put forward in decades, that was bipartisan and literally written by a Republican. You know, yeah, you know that one that James Lankford put forward and Trump ordered his senators to kill? You know that? It's almost as though that was the exact thing that you referenced just there. It's kind of funny that you don't actually bring it up or mention it by name. I'm sure that was stipulated before the interview started, that you can't actually fact check him on anything. But yeah, I'm sure she won't be mentioning that border bill that he killed. Really? Even though she literally just listed everything that was in the border bill.
First of all, they're costing us a fortune. But we're starting with the criminals, and we got to do it. And then we're starting with others, and we're going to see how it goes.
Who are the others?
Others are other people outside of criminals. We have convicted murders. We don't mean people that are even on trial.
Yeah, those would be criminals too, fuckface. What do you outside of criminals? The convicted murderers aren't criminals. Is that the spin he's putting on his conviction now? I'm not a criminal. I've been convicted. You're only a criminal until you get convicted. Yeah, you're guilty until you're proven innocent. Oh, fucking stupid.
We have people that have murdered numerous people are on our streets and in our farms, and we have to get them out of our country.
What about dreamers, sir? Dreamers who were brought to this country illegally as children. You said once back in 2017, they, quote, shouldn't be very worried about being deported. Should they be worried now?
The dreamers are going to come later, and we have to do something about the dreamers, because these are people that have been brought here at a very young age, and many of these are middle-aged people now. They don't even speak the language of their country.
I just want to address this absolute fucking moron in my chat. A guy not in Congress and not running in a primary can't kill a bill. That's literally what he did, guy. When you literally turn your entire fucking political party into a cult, yeah, that's exactly what he did. I don't know. How about you take it up with Fox News, guy? Since they say the exact same thing. I mean, I know you don't believe me, a little libby libtard, but what about the saints and overlords over at Fox News that you worship? You're gonna disagree with them too, even though they said the exact same thing? How? By telling them! He leads a fucking cult of brain-dead, spineless, dipshit Republicans that'll do whatever the fuck he says for them to do. He said, kill the fucking bill, don't pass the fucking bill, however you want to phrase it, that's what he said, and then they did it. I can literally play you a clip of all the goddamn Republican senators in the House saying that, yeah, Trump told us to kill this fucking bill. Would you like me to play that? Hey, let's fucking play that. Where the fuck is that? Where is that clip? Let's go over here to the Discord. There we go. And jump over here to the Discord.
I think the border is a very important issue. I think the border is a very important issue for Donald Trump, and the fact that he would communicate to Republican senators and Congresspeople that he doesn't want us to solve the border problem because he wants to blame Biden for it is really appalling.
I'm extremely disappointed in the very strange maneuvering by many on the right to torpedo a potential border reform bill. If we have a bill that, on net, significantly decreases illegal immigration, and we sabotage that, that is inconsistent with what we told our voters we would do. But it would be a pretty unacceptable dereliction of your duty.
I had a popular commentator 4 weeks ago that I talked to that told me flat out, if you try to move a bill that solves the border crisis during this presidential year, I will do whatever I can to destroy you.
But I would acknowledge President Trump failed, along with Republicans, Paul Ryan and the guys. They failed in 2018 to actually move a border security bill to tighten this so that we weren't dealing with this crisis right now. They failed to actually get the wall built. President Trump signed 12 continuing resolutions after he said he would never sign another one if they didn't give him the money to finish building the wall.
Everybody who comes on this floor and says our border's broken, we should do something about it, you're absolutely right. And unfortunately, we didn't get there. President Trump opposed a Senate bill. We couldn't find a better way forward.
Huh. What was that last sentence the guy said there? What was that? All these Republican senators and Republican congressmen, what did they just say? Trump didn't like the bill? Huh. How's about that? Interesting, isn't it? Yeah, Mitt, Lindsey, you know, Dan Crenshaw, all the other Republicans in Congress. Yeah, I know. Oh, no, they're all rhinos, right? Now they're all rhinos. I know, bud, I know. Gotta have to pivot to your next excuse. Come on, go consult Fox News so they can tell you what to think. You fucking sheep.
And yes, we're going to do something about the
What does
Dreamers.
that mean?
And
What are you going to do?
I will work with the Democrats on a plan, and if we can come up with a plan, but the Democrats have made it very, very difficult to do anything. Republicans are very open to the Dreamers. The Dreamers, we're talking many years ago, they were brought into this country, many years ago. Some of them are no longer young people. And
what? People grow up? Holy shit. This is, dude, this guy should be president. This guy over here, I mean, he's spitting some facts, guys. Did you know that people don't stay the same age forever? Holy fuck.
in many cases, they become successful. They have great jobs. In some cases, they have small businesses. Some cases, they might have large businesses. And we're going to have to do something with them. And
you want them to be able to stay. That's what you're saying?
I do.
Okay.
I want to be able to work something out. And it should have been able to be worked out over the last 3 or 4 years. And it never got worked out. You know, Biden could have done it because he controlled, you know, Congress to a certain extent, right? He could have done something, but they didn't do it. I never understood why, because they always seem to want to do it, but then when it comes down to it, they don't. I think we can work with the Democrats and work something out.
Let me ask you about another group of people, the estimated 4 million families in America who have mixed immigration status. So I'm talking about parents who might be here illegally, but the kids are here legally. Your borders are.
You're talking about separation.
Yeah, well,
very good. Wow. Did you figure that one out all on your own? You're talking about separation? Oh, jeez. My God, we fucking didn't elect any old schlub here. We got fucking Sherlock running the show now.
I mean, there are two aspects to this. Your border czar, Tom Homan, said they can be deported together.
Correct.
Is that the plan?
Well, that way you keep the well, I don't want to be breaking up families. So the only way you don't break up the family is you keep them together, and you have to send them all back.
Even kids who are here legally?
Well, what you're going to do if they want to stay with the father? Look, we have to have rules and regulations.
Gotta stay with the father. I love how the only member of a family that can be a criminal is the father. It's interesting. How many kids do you have again there, Trump?
You can always find something out like, you know, this doesn't work, that doesn't work. I'll tell you what's going to be horrible. When we take a wonderful young woman who's with a criminal, and they show the woman, and she could stay by the law, but they show the woman being taken out, or they want her out, and your cameras are focused on her as she's crying, as she's being taken out of our country, and then the public turns against us. But we have to do our job. And
yeah, that's the real tragic part, you guys. Think of the bad press. God, where are your bleeding hearts for the real victims here? Trump not getting the proper props from the media. Come on, guys. Put your hearts in his position. Wouldn't you feel so super bummed if somebody, they were just deporting some pesky legal citizen, and then that bitch made those stupid, cryy, sad faces that got the media all on her side, and then everybody turned against Trump? That would be the real tragedy here. Yeah. Good point there, guy. Good point.
To have a series of standards and a series of laws. And in the end, look, our country is a mess. We have the highest crime rate. And during the debate, a man whose ratings have gone way down, David Muir, said to me, no, crime is...
What the fuck does that have to do with anything? His ratings have gone... I was talking to a guy the other day. By the way, this guy sucks at his job. His ratings are in the shitter. What the fuck? Dude, how is this guy a real person? No, how is half the country so dumb that they voted for this fucking idiot? That's the real question we should be asking. Jesus Christ.
I had to debate 3 people, not one. Debating 1 was easy. Debating 3 was actually pretty easy, too, if you want to know the truth.
Yeah, debating 3 was so easy that he ran chicken shit scared away and never agreed to do another debate again. That's how easy it was, guys. It was so easy that he started screaming about people eating dogs and cats and concepts of a plan and then refused to ever do another debate again. So easy, guys. So easy.
But David Muir said, the crime rates have gone down. I said, no, they've gone up. And then the following day, they released the crime rates, and they were way up.
Yeah, the FBI statistics are. You're talking about those FBI statistics.
Well, no, but he gave the wrong answer.
Confusing based on what you're looking at.
But a lot of that is migrant crime.
Let me ask you about another aspect.
Oh my God, she fucking sucks. Let me go on to the next question, since I'm not allowed to push back on any of your bullshit. God, she's fucking. I mean, I know these are the only interviews Trump will ever agree to do. That's why he's permanently on fucking Fox News, because they refuse to push back on anything ever. They live in an entire different fucking reality from the rest of us. But I mean, like, this is just fucking infuriating. Where she's just fucking sitting over there bug-eyed, just skimming over everything. Yep, I'm just gonna completely ignore that bullshit lie. Fucking.
A lot of it's migrant crime.
Well, let me ask you about another aspect of this that I think a lot of people are really curious about. I mean, 3% of the people who are here illegally have criminal histories. But in your first administration, you had the zero tolerance policy, where we did see family separation.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what the fuck the point of this is, because you know his brain dead sycophants are just gonna repeat the same bullshit he does. Is that fucking, anything that disputes Orange Man's fucking claims is automatically not true. Only Orange Man has the real numbers. But yeah, crime is at an all-time high. Violent crime rate, as measured by the FBI, is about half as high as it was in the early 90s. The violent crime rate is far below its 1990s peak. Hey, look at that. It seems like it was a little bit higher there, Trump. How do you explain this? Oh, I don't know. Probably Biden's fault, right? Jesus Christ, man. Today, crime victimization rates are 1/3 of their peak level. Low estimate, mid estimate, high estimate. Let's go with a high estimate. Let's go with the super duper highest fucking estimate just to make them a little bit more satisfied, okay? Even then, way the fuck up here in 1993, way the fuck down here in 2022. But those are the fake numbers, guys, so pay no attention to them, okay?
You ended it. The purpose of that, though, to some extent, and you talked about this at the time, was deterrent.
You also had it with Obama. You do know that.
He didn't have a zero tolerance policy.
And you also know he built the jails for children.
He didn't have a zero tolerance policy.
But in 2014, he built the jails. You know that.
I want to ask you about the zero tolerance.
Yeah, you know he built the jails, right? I mean, I just want to be perfectly clear. He built the jails. I didn't build the jails. I just put the kids in the jails. But I mean, hey, you know, details. But by Obama, he built the jails. Come on. Focus on the important parts. Who built the jails, not who put the kids in the jails. God, I fucking hate him. This isn't Fox, is it? No, it's NBC.
Tolerance policy. I mean, he didn't have a systemic, we're going to separate families. Families were separated when parents were a threat to the kids.
We don't have to separate a family. Excuse me, Kristen.
Yeah.
We don't have to separate families.
Yeah.
We'll send the whole family very humanely back to the country where they came. That way the family's not separated.
So no more family separations. You're not reviving the zero tolerance policy.
It depends on the family. The family may decide to say, I'd rather have dad go, and we'll stay here. And in which case they have that option.
But you're not going to revive
have that option.
Zero.
What the fuck does that mean? They have that option. So what? The family gets to vote on whether they all go back, or just the criminal in the family goes back? Like, where this? Oh God, this is his actual flushed out plans are somehow even dumber than his concepts of a plan line. These are his actual flushed out plans. Oh, the family will get to decide whether they all go back or how the fuck is that gonna work? They get a vote? Oh my God, he's so dumb.
Tolerance policy, which was put in place as a deterrent. Is there any universe where you would bring that back, sir?
We need deterrence. Look, ready? When somebody comes here illegally,
Ready? Are you ready for this batch of bullshit, guys? Get ready. Brace yourselves.
Going out. Look, ready? When somebody comes here illegally, they're going out. It's very simple. When they come here illegally, they're going out. Now, if they come here illegally, but their family is here legally, then the family has a choice. The person that came in illegally can go out, or they can all go out together. And that was made very clear by Tom Homan.
So you're not, at this point in time, planning to revive that zero tolerance policy where kids are
Well, if you call that,
separated?
yeah, I'm doing what I just told you I'm going to do. You know, I don't want
If you want to call it that. If you want to call it that. Sure, whatever you want to call it, Toots. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Ugh.
to send the family out. I don't want to send anybody out. But I'll tell you, we have to, because otherwise we have no country. If we don't have borders, and if we don't have...
Like, he just says this shit. We have no country, guys. Hey, do you know this last 4 years we've had no country? Shit, guys. This whole time I thought we were living in America. We've been floating through space on a fucking nameless rock. Shit. Well, that sucks. This whole time I thought we were a country. Damn.
Voting, good voting, fair voting. Do you know they're still counting votes in San Diego, California? Listen, they're still counting the votes. This is almost 4 weeks. They're still counting the votes. If we don't have fair elections and honest voting and machines that work quickly, you know, if you had paper ballots, every election will be over by 10 o'clock in the evening.
So let me ask you.
You understand what I'm saying?
If you have paper ballots in a state of 40 million people, you think it would be faster than it is currently. You know, California literally has a bigger population than the entire country of Canada, right? You goddamn fucking retard.
Let me, before we get
and
to...
you get a much more accurate count.
Before we get to all of that, let me ask you about some of your other promises on this topic. You've promised to end birthright citizenship on day one. Is that still your plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
The 14th Amendment, though, says that, quote, all persons born in the United States are citizens. Can you get around the 14th Amendment with an executive action?
We're going to have to get a change. We'll maybe have to go back to the people, but we have to end it. We're the only country that has it. You know?
Through an executive action?
You know, we're the only country that has it. Do you know, if...
I'm sorry. Can we just do a freeze frame on that?
Country that has it. You know?
Through an executive action?
You know, we're the only country that has it.
No, dumbass. We're not the only country that has birthright citizenship. That's her struggling with every fiber of her being to not fact check this fucking retard because it's probably against the fucking contract that she signed to do an interview with him. Like, oh my fucking God, dude. It's just, it's the simplest shit, too. It's not even like we gotta do some major deep dive. Countries with birthright citizenship. With birthright citizenship. 2024. Let's get the most recent number, okay? We don't want any of this fucking bullshit out of date number. Hey, look at all that. Yep, we're the only country that does it. Oh, wait, the entire continent does it? Almost the entire continent below us does it? A vast majority of the fucking free world does it? Wow. Look at that, guys. See how fucking honest your orange cult leader is, huh? And he just said it so matter-of-factly. You know, he corrected her. He stopped her mid-sentence to go, hey, you know we're the only country with birthright citizenship? You know we're the only country that does that? And this is her just frozen in the headlights of that retarded statement. Just, I can't fact-check him. He'll storm away if I fact-check him. So I just have to sit here giving this stupid look.
Do you know... If somebody sets a foot, just a foot, 1 foot, you don't need to, on our land, congratulations, you are now a citizen of the United States of America. Yes, we're going to end that because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's how it works. If you step 1 foot on the country, congratulations, you're a citizen. that the birth part of birthright citizenship, that's a metaphor. They're actually mean if you just step one foot on the dirt, well then you're a citizen. You don't actually have to be born. Don't get lost in the details, guys.
Through executive action?
Well, if we can, through executive action. I was going to do it through executive action, but then we had to fix COVID first, to be honest with you.
There's that evil COVID again rearing its ugly head. He was going to fix everything, guys, but then COVID. He was saving all the good stuff for his last 10 months in office. That's why he spent the last 45 minutes in office pardoning a Fox News host ex-husband for tax evasion, because he was saving the best for last, the most important stuff, guys. Come on.
We have to end it. It's ridiculous. Do you know we're the only country in the world that has it? Do you know that? There's not one other country.
What about the legal challenge, inevitable legal challenges that'll come?
Do you know we have thousands of judges? Somebody walks onto our land, and we have to now say, welcome to the United States. They could be a criminal or not a criminal. We release them into our country. It's called catch and release. We release them into our country. Wait just 1 second. And now...
Wait just 1 second, you dirty bitch. I don't want to hear nothing out of you. Don't you even think about fact checking me. You just wait 1 second there, Tuss. Oh,
get them
God.
Lawyers. And the lawyers are good lawyers. And everybody has a lawyer. And do you know how many judges we have? Thousands. Thousands. Now, here's what other countries do. They come into the land and they say, I'm sorry, you have to go. And they take them out.
I mean, just the audacity of that statement is fucking infuriating. Everybody gets a good lawyer, guys. You know, everybody gets a good lawyer. When you go to, any of these asylum claims or anything, yeah, you don't get saddled with the only available public defender that you can actually fucking get seen in front of. No, that's not how it works. You get the best lawyers, guys. Yup. Everybody gets the best lawyer.
Okay? With us, once they touch our land, we're into litigation that lasts for years, costs us hundreds of billions of dollars. We have judges, and I'm sure they're all honest, but I don't know that for a fact. You can imagine what's going on with the judges. But just so you, because I have a lot of judges, I tell you what, I know more about judges than any human being in history. Look, we have judges. Every time somebody puts 2 feet or even 1 foot on a piece of our land, it's welcome to long-term litigation. Other countries, every other country, when somebody walks on and they see that they're here illegally, they walk them off, they take them back to where they came from. We have to get...
Like, I mean, this is... First of all, it's been like well over a dozen lies. But I mean, there's no point even in fact-checking this shit because it's so obviously not true. Everybody, if you have more than half a fucking walnut for a brain, you know this shit isn't true. And he just fucking keeps saying the same shit over and over and over again. How many times has he repeated that stupid fucking claim? If you step 1 foot on the country, you're a citizen now. No other country does it. He said it like 5 fucking times. You just I don't know. Do you think he thinks that if you repeat the lie enough times, it becomes true? He can just will it into existence. You think that's what he's doing here?
Rid of the system. It's killing our country.
Let's talk about health care. I've been talking to Republican lawmakers on Capitol Hill. They say it's no longer feasible to repeal and replace Obamacare because it's so entrenched in the system. Do you see it that way? Is that now off the table, repealing and replacing
when John
Obamacare?
McCain let us down by voting, and Murkowski and Collins and whoever it was that voted against, but they really let us down. They did us a great disservice because we would have had great health. Obamacare is lousy health care. It's very expensive health care for the people. It's also expensive for the country, but for the people. It's lousy health care. When John McCain gave his thumbs down, after saying for 10 years that he wants to repeal and replace, okay? And then he came out, put his now famous thumbs down, and he became a hero to the left. Let me tell you, if we find something better, I would love to do it.
What the fuck do you mean find something better? Like, what are you talking about? You had fucking 8 years. You had 8 years. You had your 4 years in office where you promised every fucking 2 weeks there was going to be a healthcare plan in 2 weeks, and just that 2 weeks never came. I don't know. Time froze for some. It froze and somehow didn't freeze because somehow he was able to blame everything that didn't go right in his administration on COVID. So I don't know how time froze, but simultaneously didn't freeze because COVID came along and ruined everything for him. But yeah, you know, I mean, somehow it happened, guys. 2 weeks just never showed up. And here we are 8 years later, over 8 years later, still no healthcare plan.
But unless we find, but one thing I have to say, I inherited Obamacare or anything else you want to go. It's got about 20 names, but I inherited.
It's got 2 names. 20 names. This is how dumb this fucking guy is. It's got 20 names. It has Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act. 2 names. 2 names is too much for this senile old fart to remember. It's got 20 names.
And I had a decision to make with Health and Human Services. I had a big decision to make. Do I make it as good as we can make it, or do I let it rot? And a lot of political people said, let it rot and let it be a failure. I said, that's not the right thing to do. And I had very good people.
So instead, I did nothing. What? So instead, I did nothing and kept on promising that I had something new coming down the pipe that was going to be so much better in 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks, guys. Just going to have to wait another 2 weeks. Every fucking 2 weeks for 4 years straight. You just had to wait another 2 weeks. And here we are 8 years later. And I guess I don't know what happened to that old plan. We had it and it was so amazing that you guys just had to wait another 2 weeks for it. But, you know, now he seems to have misplaced it.
In the medical area that handled that. And I said, what do you want to do? He said, we really have an obligation to make it as good as we can. And we did. We made it as good as we can make it. Instead of making it bad where everybody would be calling for its repeal, I made it so that it works. Now,
but you did try to overturn it, sir.
Well, it's lousy.
You did try to overturn it. You did have your Justice Department try to direct the Supreme Court to overturn it.
We got a little bit of a surprising opinion, to be honest with you. If it would have been overturned, we would have had much better health care right now. But right now, we have something that I made the best of. I could have made the worst of it, and it would have fallen by the wayside. I did the right thing from a human standpoint. But, you know, I'm sort of proud of my decision. At the same time, sometimes I regret it.
You did nothing. What is he talking about? Dude, this is the most insane fucking gaslighting I have ever seen in my fucking life. He did nothing. He literally did nothing. What are you talking about? You tried to kill it every single year you were in office, and then you did nothing to the existing fucking plan. You did nothing to it. And he's like, I feel good about what I did. You did nothing.
Told the people, and I gave them the money to do it. I said, fix it, make it work, because people would have suffered. But it's too bad that they voted no. I wish John McCain, he fought for 10 years on replacing Obamacare, for 10 years, and then he voted against. Nobody understands it.
Sir, you said during the campaign you had concepts of a plan. Do you have an actual plan at this point for health care?
Yes, we have concepts of a plan that would be better.
Still
concepts of a plan. He still, 8 years later, has concepts of a plan. Just concepts. No actual plan. Just the concepts. 8 years later. After all that shit he just said about how horrible Obamacare is and how, it's got 20 different names and, who can keep track and it's just so awful, but he can't think of anything better. Can't think of a single thing he'd change about it, but goddamn is it horrible. Oh, it's just so awful, guys. So awful that I can't think of a single thing I'd change about it, but I got concepts.
Just concepts? Do you have a fully developed plan?
Let me explain. We have the biggest healthcare companies looking at it. We have doctors. We're always looking because Obamacare stinks. It's lousy. There are better answers. If we come up with a better answer, I would present that answer to Democrats and to everybody else, and I do something about it. But until we have that, or until they can approve it, but we're not going to go through the big deal. I am the one that saved Obamacare. I will say, and I did the right thing.
Now he saved it. In the span of what, 30 seconds, he went from, God damn that fucking John McCain for saving Obama, for not voting down Obamacare, to now I saved it. Hey guys, look at me, I saved it over here. Not only did I try killing it every fucking year I was in office, and I was just railing against John McCain for doing his famous thumbs down, but now I saved it. Yup, it's all thanks to me, guys. This guy is insane.
thing. I could have done the more political thing and killed it. And all I had to do is start.
You tried to kill it. You tried to kill it every single fucking year you were in office. Every single year.
You did try to have your Justice Department effectively kill it, though,
No.
sir.
Kill it from
Oh my God, she actually pushed back on something for a change. Yay!
Standpoint, but from a physical standpoint, I made it work.
In your concepts of a plan,
Oh well,
sir,
we knew that was gonna be short-lived. I actually thought there was gonna be like another follow-up there. My bad. Why didn't I just assume she was just gonna fucking shamelessly move on to the next question? Silly me. I thought she was actually gonna push back on something for a change.
To death.
You did try to have your Justice Department effectively kill it, though,
No.
sir.
Kill it from a legal standpoint, but from a physical standpoint, I made it work.
In your concept,
Dude, from a physical standpoint, he made it work. From a legal standpoint, what do you say? Does he think that the Affordable Care Act is an omnipotent being? Does he think it actually floats above America, like hand-picking who it's gonna help and who it's not gonna help? What the fuck does that even mean? Legally, I tried to kill it, but physically, I made it awesome. What does that mean? What does that even fucking mean? Physically, you made it awesome? What did you do? You glue a bunch of hearts and stars on it and then sprinkle some glitter on it? You physically made it awesome? What does that mean? Legally, I tried to kill it, yes, but physically, I put glitter on the page, you see? What the fuck is he even talking about? God damn, dude. You people were talking about Biden being senile? What the fuck? I will pay you $100 if you can explain what the fuck he meant by that last sentence. Anybody that can explain what the fuck killing it legally but not physically. What does that mean? What the fuck does that? Explain this sentence.
of a
Legal standpoint, but from a
Justice Department effectively kill it, though,
No.
sir.
Kill it from a legal standpoint, but from a physical standpoint, I made it work.
In your
Tried to kill it from a legal standpoint, but from a physical standpoint, he made it work. $100, guys. $100 to whoever can explain what the fuck that sentence means. Anybody. I'll wait. Anybody? Anybody got any guesses? Come on. Let's hear it. Ugh.
concepts of a plan, sir, will people with pre-existing conditions still have coverage? And can you guarantee their prices will not go up?
The answer is yes. They'll have coverage. You have to have it.
And what about their prices?
Because you know what?
What about their prices, sir?
I want the prices to go down. I want to have better health care for less money. And there are ways of doing it, I believe. And I have the smartest people.
You mean there are concepts of ways of doing it, don't you?
Less money. And there are ways of doing it, I believe. And I have the smartest people in that world. You know, that's a separate world unto itself. I have the smartest people in that world looking at it and trying. And if they come up with something, I will present it. Now,
you have the smartest people in that world, and in 8 years, they haven't been able to come up with a better alternative. 8 years, the smartest people in that world can't think of a better alternative. Well, either Obamacare is fucking amazing, or you're dealing with some really dumb smart guys. Jesus, he's so fucking stupid. God, this is irritating.
maybe you won't be able to sell it. But if we get better health care for less money, I believe it's very saleable.
Just very quickly, when will we see your fully developed plan? When are you going to show
I don't know
the
that you'll
public
see it.
2 weeks, Kristen. God, did you not get the memo, you stupid bitch? 2 weeks. He said it for the last 8 years. You'll get a fully flushed out healthcare plan in 2 weeks. Come on.
At all. I can only say that we have some of the best healthcare people. I've always tinkered with it. I think it's a little hard to explain. Obamacare, when I took it over, was a disaster. and I made it
has insured
workable.
20 million people.
Yeah, because of me.
What? Dude. What? It's insured 20 million people because of me, the guy that tried to kill it every single year I was in office and didn't do anything to it and can't even come up with a concept of a plan to replace it. Yeah, it's because of me, guys. Why aren't you bowing at my feet, thanking me? Why aren't you kissing my feet right now, thanking me for your 20 million people that got covered under Obamacare? That thing I tried to kill, but can't come up with an alternative to, even though it's the worst thing ever. Jesus Christ, man. What is this?
Because of me. If you look at what I did, I was the one. I made it good.
You
yeah,
tried
legally.
to repeal and replace it. You tried to kill it.
Because if I repealed it and replaced it, we would have had.
Oh my God, she's actually pushing back on something. Yes, yes. Point out the insanity in his fucking stupid statement. Yes, point out that he's fucking tried to kill it. Yes, there you go. Good girl. Keep trying. Keep going. We know this isn't gonna last long. I guarantee you guys. It's just gonna walk all over.
You tried to repeal and replace it. You tried to kill it.
Because if I repealed it and replaced it, we would have had a better system because we wouldn't have.
Yeah, if you had repealed it and replaced it, there's no guarantee it would have been better. But if I had, it would have been better, guys. So just count that non-existent thing that didn't happen as a win for me because, you know, I thought about doing it that one time. If I had repealed and replaced it, it would have been better. But I didn't, and I tried to kill it every year I was in office without a fucking replacement. But, you know, I mean, that should count as a win somehow. What the fuck, dude?
Had health care, and the Democrats would have been forced to do something. If we wouldn't have had it, the Democrats would have been forced to do something that they wouldn't do if we have it.
Let me ask you about another aspect.
What the fuck was that last sentence? I mean, do you guys actually listen to the fucking words that come out of this retard's mouth? Like, what was that last sentence? What did he say there?
The Democrats would have been forced to do something. If we wouldn't have had it, the Democrats would have been forced to do something that they wouldn't do if we have it.
Let me ask you about.
If you didn't have it, the Democrats would have been forced to do something. If the Democrats didn't have their own health care plan, then the Democrats would have been forced to do something to have a health care plan. What are you, what the fuck is, dude, this can't be real life. What the fuck is this? Like, what is this? This is insane. How does that, if the Democrats didn't have their own healthcare plan, then they would have had to do something. What does that have to do with fucking Obamacare? Why did you not repeal and replace it? The Democrats had something. You're the one who can only still, 8 years later, come up with concepts of a fucking plan. What are you talking about? If, in a hypothetical situation where Obamacare didn't exist, the Democrats would have had to do something. And it wouldn't have been as good as what they did if they already did Obamacare. What the fuck is wrong with this guy, man? This is more than dementia. This is just, I don't know what this fucking is. This is like Alzheimer's, dementia, super hybrid, and on top of bronzer poisoning. Jesus.
Another aspect of healthcare, you talked about this on the campaign trail, right. IVF. You promised free IVF for all who want it, either through the government or through mandates with insurance companies. I've been hearing from Republican senators, some of them, who say they're not going to support that plan. How are you going to get that passed?
Well, we're going to see. We want them to pay, ideally the insurance companies to pay for it, the fertilization. I came out very early for a Republican especially, and I think they were looking for my guidance, my great wisdom, right? They were looking for it. And I got a call from Katie Britt, who's a terrific person, senator from Alabama, and she said,
do you remember her, guys, from the what was it, the State of the Union, the Biden State of the Union response? Katie Britt, she's the one that failed every acting class she was ever in, but really, really, really wanted to be an actress. Oh my God, this girl was fucking hilarious. Katie Britt, is that how you spell her stupid fucking name? Katie Britt. Yeah, you'll remember her. State of the Union, State of... It's the next thing that comes up. Yeah, remember this one? Yeah, this is Katie Britt. Can we just get a highlight reel of her trying to act? God, this was hilarious. So of course it has to buffer for like 20 minutes. Come on. Oh my God, really? Where the hell was I watching it before? Wasn't that YouTube?
Look, we all recall when presidents faced national security threats with strength and resolve.
Look, you guys. We all remember when I flunked out of acting class.
So we just had a really negative ruling from a judge in Alabama, conservative judge, that all of these clinics had to be closed. And she said, and she went into great detail, and she said people are devastated over it. And after literally speaking to her for 5 minutes, I issued an order, really an order in a sense. And it was a statement from the Republican Party that we are all for IVF and fertilization. Okay. The Alabama.
Hey, where's that other guy from fucking before? You see what he just said there? I issued a statement. It was kind of like an order. How's he issuing statements and orders if he's not a member of Congress and he's not even an elected official? Huh? Kind of goes against that whole little narrative you were spinning about him not killing the border bill.
Legislature met the following day and passed it. It was a beautiful thing to see. And I consider myself to be the father of IVF in a certain way. And the Republicans were very strong on the issue.
But, sir, I want to understand where it falls in your list of priorities. I mean, is this something we can expect to see you try to move on in the first 100 days?
We're going to be talking about it, and we're going to be seeing. We have a lot of other things. I have tax cuts. You know, we'll be submitting in either the first or second package to Congress the extension of the tax cuts. So that might very well be in there, or it'll come sometime after that.
Let's talk about abortion, sir. You have taken...
Or it'll come sometime after that. Kind of sounds like those mystical fucking healthcare plans that were coming for 2 weeks for a full 4 years. Every 2 weeks for 4 years, you're going to be hearing about IVF now, guys. It's going to be the next healthcare plan.
Responsibility for overturning Roe v. Wade. You've said that abortion is now a state issue. There are steps that you could take, though, as president, to restrict abortion through executive action without Congress. More than half of abortions in this country are medication abortions. Will you restrict the availability of abortion pills when you're in office?
I'll probably stay with exactly what I've been saying for the last 2 years, and the answer is no.
You commit to that?
Well, I commit. I mean,
I commit. Well, you know, hey, I commit. Commit's a funny word, you know. Who can commit to anything these days? I commit, you know. Commit, do whatever the fuck I want. Same thing.
Things change. I think they change. I hate to go on shows like Joe Biden. I'm not going to give my son a pardon. I will not, under any circumstances, give him a pardon. I watched this. And I always knew he was going to give him a pardon, and sort of.
Yeah, you don't want to say things that aren't going to fucking come true, like that wall that Mexico paid for and you definitely finished, and the American taxpayers didn't pay for, and COVID that was just going to disappear in April like a miracle. Yeah, you don't want to go out there and just say stupid shit. That would be ridiculous.
I don't like putting myself in a position like that. So things do change, but I don't think it's going to change at all.
Okay. Let's talk about some of your picks to fill out your administration. You named Kash Patel to be the next FBI director. Yeah. He has a list in his book of 60 people that he calls members of the so-called deep state. It includes Democrats like Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton. It includes former members of your cabinet, from Bill Barr to Christopher Wray. You campaigned on destroying the deep state. Do you want Kash Patel to launch investigations into people on that list?
No, I mean, he's going to do what he thinks is right.
Do you think that's right? Do you think that's right, sir?
If they think that somebody was dishonest or crooked or a corrupt politician, I think he probably has an obligation to do it. But
are you going to direct him to do it?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Here's what he's going to do. I'm calling it right fucking now. Here's what he's going to do. He knows exactly what the fuck these Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, I'm going to do deep dives on all of them later, but this is exactly what he's going to do. He knows these people have already on camera multiple times stated exactly what the fuck their plans are when they get into office, and that he knows that, well, I don't need to tell them to do anything. They're just going to instinctively do this on their own. So he'll have all culpability removed, and then once the dirty deed is done, to remove himself even further from it, he's going to fire them, replace them with another one of his sycophants, and just throw them under the bus and be like, oh, it was all Pam Bondi, it was all Kash Patel. I didn't order them to go after my political opponents. They just took it upon themselves to do it. That's what he's going to do. I'm calling it right now because it's exactly what he did in his first administration. He has no loyalty to anybody. He expects everybody to be loyal to him, but he has no loyalty to anybody. So he'll use you and then dispose of you the second you've served your purpose. And that's exactly what he's going to do with Kash Patel and Pam Bondi. They will not be in there 2 years into his administration. They're going to be chucked under the bus the second he gets backlash from the public and the media for doing exactly what the fuck they said that they're going to do when they get in there, which is go after the press and his political opponents and the media and anybody else that's critical of Trump. Yeah, it's so fucking funny.
We have two great people there. We have him and we have Pam. And Pam Bondi has been like a rocket ship. She's very popular and very good and very fair. And Kash Patel is very fair. I'll tell you, I thought Kash may be difficult because he's, a strong conservative voice. And I don't know of anybody that's not singing his praises. The other day I was watching, and Trey Gowdy, who's a moderate person and very smart and very respected in the party, he's Kash's biggest fan. He said, this is the most misunderstood man in politics. He's great. I guess they worked together on the Russia hoax or something. And Trey Gowdy became a fan. Trey Gowdy. Everybody respects him. And, just like him, others also. I don't know of one negative vote. I don't think he's going to have any negative votes.
Is it your
Really? Not one negative vote. Okay, cool. You turned on the TV at any point in the last 2 weeks there, Donnie?
Though that Kash Patel will pursue investigations against your political enemies?
No. I don't think so.
Do you want to see that happen?
If they were crooked, if they did something wrong, if they have broken the law, probably. They went after me, They went after me and I did nothing wrong.
Well, let me ask you this. You said President Biden...
Yeah, I did nothing wrong. You're supposed to store the nuclear secrets in the bathroom of your country club, guys. That's where they're supposed to be kept. Come on. Get with it. I did nothing wrong. It's not like I incited an insurrection to storm the Capitol, those were all FBI and Antifa guys, come on. And somehow they're all hostages that deserve their freedom now, too, come on. I mean, I did nothing wrong. It's not like I fucking, got 7 slates of fake electors to try and overturn an election and called the Georgia, election official to told him to fine me 11,000 votes. Come on. I didn't do anything wrong, guys. What are we doing here?
Quote, that you're going to appoint a real special prosecutor to go after Joe Biden. You said that during the campaign.
Where?
You said that on Truth Social, June 12th, 2023. I will appoint a real special...
Oh, you know what? This just proves how much she sucks even worse because she's got this whole fucking binder there and you think it's got like her notes in it or something or like her questions that she's asking him. No, she's literally reading off. She's got the receipts sitting right in front of her and she's still not pushing back on any of this fucking horseshit that's tumbling out of his stupid orange face. God, that makes me hate her even more to know that she knows he's lying and she's just choosing not to push back on anything. Ugh. God, the media sucks.
Special prosecutor to go after the most corrupt president in the history of the United States, Joe Biden, and the entire Biden crime family. Are you going to do that? Are you going to go after Joe Biden?
I'm really looking to make our country successful. I'm not looking to go back into the past. I'm looking to make our country successful. Retribution will be through success. If we can make this country successful, that would be my greatest. That would be such a great achievement. Bring it back. We have a country now that's overridden with crime, that has millions of people that shouldn't be here, that should be in prisons in other countries, that should be in mental institutions. We have drug lords being dropped into our country and told never go back to their country. I'm looking to make our country great. I'm looking to bring prices down because, I won on 2 things, the border and more than immigration. They like to say immigration. I break it down more to the border, but I won on the border and I won on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries. Like almost You know, who uses the word? I started
Who
using
uses the word? Oh my fucking God, dude. You know what this means? This means that this fucking jackass has literally never heard the word groceries until this fucking year. Well, who are we kidding? The videos of him going into that grocery store were literally the first time ever that he has ever set foot in a grocery store. Like, this is the man of the people that all these fucking morons voted for because they genuinely believe this idiot gave a fuck about them. This is your guy, the guy with the gold toilets that's never heard the word groceries before and is now amazed by it. Can you believe this word they got in the groceries? It's crazy.
the word. The groceries, when you buy apples, when you buy bacon, when you buy eggs, they would double and triple the price over a short period of time. And I won an election based on that. We're going to bring those prices way down.
I want to pause here because what you're saying is significant. Because you wrote on Truth Social in 2023 that you're going to appoint a real special prosecutor to go after Joe Biden. Now you're saying you're not going to do that.
I will say this. No, I'm
When the
not.
fuck did he say that? He didn't say that. He said that he's going to let Pam Bondi and Crazy Cash Patel do whatever the fuck they want. They've specifically said that that's what they're going to do. Yeah, like what? I don't know. Like, is this supposed to be some kind of like weird semi-gotcha moment because you can't actually push back on anything he says, or he'll storm away like the petulant child that he is?
Not doing that unless I find something that I think is reasonable. But that's not going to be my decision. That's going to be Pam Bondi's decision, and to a different extent, Cash Patel, assuming they're both there. And I think they're both going to get approved. But while you ask me that, what they've done to me with weaponization is a disgrace.
We'll get to some of that,
No,
sir.
wait. You can't do one without the other. In the history of our country, nothing like this has ever happened.
Yeah, in the history of our country, we've never had a criminal run for office and win. That's true, fuckface. That's literally, we've never had that. That is a good, you actually stumbled onto a true statement for once in your fucking life. Yes, we've never had a convicted felon run for office and win before. No, there's no weaponization of the justice system. You're just a fucking criminal.
And I've won these cases. I've won.
You literally haven't won a single case. You have not won a single case. In fact, the only case that actually went to trial before you fucking, won the election on behalf of the stupid people, that one got you 34 fucking felony convictions. You lost the only case that went to trial. The other cases are being dismissed because you can't prosecute a sitting president. You haven't won any of your cases. In fact, the only case you lost. God damn it, dude.
One and the rest are in the process of being won. Deranged Jack Smith is on his way back to The Hague where he can execute people. This is where he should have stayed. I think he's dangerous even being there. But I'll tell you what they've done to me in terms of weaponization, indictments, impeachments, and everything else. And in the
yeah, guys, what are you impeaching me for just leading a little insurrection? What are you, come on, we've all done it once or twice. What are you guys indicting me for? Everybody keeps nuclear secrets in the shitter of their country club. Come on, guys. This is just weaponization of the fucking justice system that prosecuted the president's son and the mayor of New York and Bob Menendez and all those other Democrats. But, come on, the weaponized justice system, guys.
And it probably helped because I got the biggest vote, the most votes any Republican's ever gotten in history.
Pam Bondi talks about investigating the investigators. Do you want her to investigate Jack Smith?
I want her to do what she wants to do.
Do you want to see Jack Smith investigated?
Well, I think he's very corrupt, but I want her to do whatever she has to do.
Are you going to direct her to prosecute Jack Smith?
This is what I'm saying. Dude, I could make a killing. If I could find somebody that would actually be willing to pay for it, I could make a killing just on future Trump predictions. I haven't been wrong yet. I told you, dude, this is what he's going to do. He's going to put it all on Pam and Cash. And Pam and Cash, whatever they did, it wasn't up to me. I didn't tell them to do it. They just did it all on their own. And after the dirty work's done, he's going to fire them both and replace them and just be like, what are you guys still talking about that for? That's ancient history. Look, we got new guys. Calling it right now.
Smart person. She was a great attorney general in Florida. She's very experienced. I want her to do what she wants to do. I'm not going to instruct her to do it now.
Sir, are you going?
By the way, this Pam Bondi is the one that, like I said, I'm going to do a deep dive on his entire cabinet picks. But Pam Bondi is the one that refused to go after him for the Trump University scam after he donated to her. Yeah, so she'll be really above board.
To fire the current FBI director, Christopher Wray, who you appointed? Sir, are you going to fire the current FBI director, Christopher Wray, who you appointed?
Well, I can't say I'm thrilled with him. He invaded my home. I'm suing the country over it. He invaded Mar-a-Lago. I'm very unhappy with the things he's done. And
by the way, the only reason that Chris Wray is in there is because he fired James Comey to kill the Russia investigation against him in his first term. That's the only reason that he has Wray in there. That he appointed, but now he doesn't like him because, oh, damn it, Wray actually did his job. Yeah, he just didn't let me stash a bunch of nuclear secrets in the shitter of my country club. What an asshole. Damn you, Chris Wray. Gotta fire him too.
Crime is at an all-time high. Migrants are pouring into the country that are from prisons and from mental institutions, as we've discussed. I can't say I'm thrilled. I don't want to be Joe Biden and give you an answer and then do the exact opposite.
We're going to talk about
So
that,
I'm not going to do that.
So you're literally saying you're going to do the exact opposite. Dude, oh my God, he's so fucking stupid. I'm not going to go on TV and give an answer and then do the exact opposite. So you're literally admitting that you're going to do the exact shit that she's asking you. Oh my God, dude. I mean, a toddler is better at lying than this. A fucking toddler. Jesus.
What I'm going to say is I certainly cannot be happy with him. You take a look at what's happened. And then when I was shot in the ear, he said, oh, maybe it was shrapnel. Where's the shrapnel coming from? Is it coming from heaven? I don't think so. So we need somebody to straighten. You know, I have a lot of respect for the FBI, but the FBI's
But not when they do their job. God, I respect them when they just stand there in those cool FBI jackets.
Has gone way down over the last number of years.
Don't you have to fire him in order to make room for Kash Patel if he is, in fact, confirmed?
Well, I mean, it would sort of seem pretty obvious that if Kash gets in, he's going to be taking somebody's place, right? And somebody is the man that you're talking about.
Okay. Let's talk about Project 2025. This is the conservative policy blueprint. You disavowed it during the campaign. You called it a product of the radical right. You've said some of their ideas were abysmal.
I said some of it is. Some of it is very good. Some of it's very mainstream, actually. Frankly, the Democrats should have used some of it because they went, you know, with all the transgender that they were doing or with the men playing in women's sports. Well, if they wouldn't have done that, maybe they would have done better.
Well, so you take me to my question. You're now giving people involved in Project 2025 prominent roles in your administration. Are you changing your mind about Project 2025? No. Is this now the policy blueprint for the second Trump administration?
No. Some people, if you take a look at the group, it was hundreds of people were involved. And I was actually, I reprimanded the whole group. I said, you shouldn't have placed this document in front of the voters because I have nothing to do with it and I'm the one that's running. You had no right to do this where you put 1,000-page document in front. And many of those things I disagree with. Now.
And then I proceeded to appoint a bunch of the authors, the most prominent authors, to my cabinet. Cool. Well, you sure showed them, Donnie. Good job. Really reprimanded them hard. Teach them a lesson by giving them a promotion.
Many of those things I happen to agree with. Many of those things Democrats should have agreed to.
Wait a second. I thought you didn't read it. How can you agree with something that you didn't read? Huh. It's almost as though you fucking lied.
And I think they would have done much better in the election because they got slaughtered.
Well, I guess people see the list: Russ Vought, Brendan Carr, Peter Navarro, John Ratcliffe, Pete Hoekstra, Monica Crowley, and they think these are all of the people who were involved in or writing Project 2025. This must be a blueprint for work requirements, eliminating the Head Start program, criminalizing pornography. Is that what we can expect to see?
Well, I don't know how they voted. I don't know. I never spoke to them actually about it, and I purposely, and I told you, normally it would be just the opposite. I'd review every page. I purposely didn't even want to see it Because when somebody like you asks me a question about Project 2025,
then how the fuck do you agree with it? If you don't see it, how do you know you agree with it? You fucking idiot. God, he's so bad at lying. Jesus. What the fuck? How do you agree with something that you haven't seen?
I can honestly say I've never seen it. I have nothing to do with it.
That should be the biggest red flag. When he says, I can honestly say, you know you're going to get some next level bullshit. He said, oh, it's honest? Oh, then it's going to be extra bullshit. Extra spicy bullshit. Extra steamy pile of bullshit is coming. He said honest this time, guys. Get ready for it.
2025. I can honestly say I've never seen it. I have nothing to do with it. I didn't read it, but I did hear some things in there that I would totally disagree with. And I said to the people that were really the people behind it, you know who those people are? I said, you really had no right doing this to me, because they used it as a soundbite, the Democrats. And I don't know, it couldn't have been too effective because they got slaughtered, but they did use it as a soundbite.
But to people who see, oh, he's bringing in all of these people from Project 2025, he must know what it is.
Well,
you know
what? I don't know what it is, no. I don't know what it is.
You still don't know
what
it is?
But I heard
All these
certain
people
things
are
that I
coming
didn't
in
like.
your-
And by the way, I heard certain things that are phenomenal.
Like what?
Like, dude, what? I don't know what it is, but I think it's great. I don't know what it is, but I like it. And I disagree with some of it, but I still don't know what it is. This is insane. This is fucking insane. A toddler, a literal toddler, a 5-year-old would be better at lying than this. This is crazy. I've never seen it, but I agree with a lot of it, and I don't agree with some parts of it, but still haven't seen it. Jesus Christ.
Like Law and Order, we want Law and Order. Okay? Little things like law. I heard certain things that are phenomenal. Okay?
Like what?
Like Law and Order, we want Law and Order.
Like Law and Order. The 34 felony conviction guy he's big on Law and Order. Yeah, the stashing top secret documents in the shitter of your country club guy is all about Law and Order, guys. The guy whose half his fucking cabinets are fucking accused of sexual assault and rape. Yeah, he's all about Law and Order. Yeah, that's his top concern. Mr. 34 felony convictions, Mr. 7 slates of fake electors, Mr. Insurrection, Mr. Stash the top secret documents in the shitter of his country club. He's the Law and Order guy. Yup.
Okay? Little things like, let's put prisoners in jail. Let's not let people come out and raid every drugstore in Manhattan so that we have to put glass up and every store is going out of business.
Let me ask you about something you've referenced a couple of times in this interview. I asked you last time we sat down for an interview if you were going to pardon yourself. You said no. But now that President Biden has pardoned his son, Hunter, are you reconsidering? Might you pardon yourself?
I didn't do anything wrong. I was given the option. And the lawyers told me, a very specific lawyer, I don't have to go into who, but very high up in the administration said, sir, if you pardon yourself, you're going to look guilty, and you did nothing wrong. Oh, I had that option.
So you're admitting that the 143 people that you pardoned, and many of whom you've now appointed to your cabinet, are guilty of the crimes that they committed. That's what you're saying then?
I could have saved myself a lot of legal fees, but it turned out that I was right. Look at what's gone on. Everything's being dropped. I still have a Fani Willis, a total hoax. That's a total hoax. It's all being dropped. It's all been discredited. It's been dropped.
None of it's been discredited. The only reason it's being dropped is because you can't prosecute a sitting president. And morons just elected you president. That's the only reason it's being dropped. You didn't win anything, you fucking moron. You won the majority of the morons in the country. Congratulations. The country is getting dumber. I now understand why you have such a soft spot for the uneducated. He loves the poorly educated. Yeah, I know now why you love the poorly educated. Because they just kept you out of prison. Doing victory laps on cases being dismissed because you can't prosecute. By the way, all his fucking co-conspirators are still going to trial. None of their charges are being dropped because they haven't been elected president. Which just The guy at the top of the pyramid of the scheme of crime is no longer eligible to be thrown in jail. So those cases are dismissed against him and him alone. All the other co-conspirators are all going to fucking jail. They're all going to jail. Ask Rudy how it's going for him right now. Like, it's fucking hilarious. So, I mean, let's be honest. The second he gets in there, he's just gonna fucking pardon everybody. But yeah, that and they had no merit in the first place. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I have a feeling it's something retarded, so I'm not even gonna give it any daylight.
Those people that say, and this would be the first time in history, that all of those fake indictments, they were going after a political opponent. There are those that say that I actually did
really
better
Rudy Giuliani
in
is
the election
a
because
political
of it. Now,
opponent.
that would
Interesting.
be a first. I think you would agree, because normally that's like you go back to the microphones, you say, I'm leaving right now, I will leave office, I'm going back to my family, and I will fight for my name. Well, I had to fight for my name in public because I didn't leave office. But no, I didn't want to pardon, and I didn't want to pardon myself. I had the option to pardon myself.
And you don't want one now? You're not going to pardon yourself now?
What do I need one for? First of all, I've won almost all of the cases.
What if...
You've won literally none of the cases. You keep saying that. I'm going to keep repeating. This is what the media should be doing, is every time he says one of these brain-dead fucking lies, they say, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You can keep saying that, but I'm going to keep fact-checking you every time. No, you didn't win any of the fucking cases. The cases are being dismissed because you can't prosecute a sitting president. And by the way, the only case that went to trial, you fucking lost.
On resuscitation.
What if President Biden offered you a pardon? Would you accept it?
I've never even thought about it. I don't think he'll do it. Look, if he did, he's the one that started this whole thing.
He put, see, little known tidbit here, guys. A part of the story that they don't tell you is that Joe Biden actually held a gun to Trump's head and said, you better stash those nuclear secrets in the shitter of your country club, and you better go and incite an insurrection to try and storm the Capitol to overturn the election that we stole from you for some reason. And we're going to get a bunch of our Antifa and FBI agents to dress up like the right to try and overturn an election that we stole, apparently, you know, because that makes sense. And I'm going to... Same thing, same situation. He still had that gun to his head when he told him to call the governor of Georgia and say, I need you to find me 11,000 votes. You know, that all little known behind the scenes fact, all that was Joe Biden pointing a gun at Trump's head. Well hidden fact of history there, guys. It's all Joe Biden's fault.
Department to go after me. And the state cases are all being run by the Justice Department, which is illegal. They had their people from the Justice Department work for Alvin Bragg in order to get something.
I just want to highlight how dumb some of the people in my fucking chat are right now. This idiot says they had to make up novel interpretations of the law to go after him. Novel interpretations of the law, like don't incite a fucking insurrection, that shit that's been in the Constitution since like fucking Jesus Christ, what was the year? You know, like hundreds of fucking years. Like, don't, like, novel interpretations of the law, like don't fucking hide nuclear secrets from the FBI after they ask you multiple times to return them and then go stash them in the shitter of your country club. Novel interpretations like that, you goddamn fucking moron. Are those the novel interpretations you're referring to, you fucking retard? Jesus Christ, man. Oh, I can't fucking wait for you idiots to get what the fuck you deserve, because this absolute moron. Insurrection is a legal term. Yeah, it's also in the Constitution, you brain dead fucking retard. Why don't you try reading it once in a fucking while? It's a legal term. Oh my God, you people are so painfully stupid. This is how, dude, this is how we got here. Whenever you guys wonder how the fuck we got this absolute brain dead retard as a fucking president, know that it's because of morons like this in my comment section that are somehow even dumber than he is. Didn't think it was possible, but apparently it is.
James in the state, he had his people go from the federal government and take lesser jobs in the state in order to get done.
And you know he denies he had anything. to do with it.
No,
and
you
there's
can't
no,
deny it. You know why?
Yeah.
Because they were there.
Yeah, why say it like that? Why say he denies that? Why not say it the way it actually is? There is no evidence to support that. Why say bullshit terms like they deny that? Why not say the actual fact of the matter, which is there is no evidence to support your bullshit claims, you goddamn orange liar. Why the fuck do you paint yourself up like an orange birthday clown, you insane jackass? Why are you lying? Ask these questions. Say these things. They deny it. What the fuck are you talking about? They deny it. No, there is no evidence to support those claims. You orange fucking senile jackass. That's what you should say, lady.
Wait a minute. Wait. You know, you have a tendency to sort of like slough over things. You just made a statement. His person...
We finally agree on something. Yes, stop fluffing over things, Kirsten or whatever the fuck your stupid name is. Stop fucking sloughing over things. Hold this fucking retard accountable for any of the bullshit that's spewing out of his stupid face.
The top, maybe the third or second or third person left the federal government, the DOJ, and went to work for Letitia James. And then, after they got that one started, went to work for the DA.
Let me ask you about some of this new reporting. NBC News is reporting that President Biden is considering giving preemptive pardons to the likes of Liz Cheney, Adam Schiff, and Anthony Fauci. If President Biden doesn't issue those pardons, do you think they are going to wish that he had? Are they going to be pursued?
I can tell you this about Cheney, and she's a so-called Republican. I think she hurt the Democrats terribly. When I saw that Kamala put Cheney out on the campaign trail, I said, that's the end of Kamala. I really did. I thought it was a terrible move, especially if you're a Democrat. But Cheney did something that's inexcusable, along with Thompson and the people on the Unselect Committee of political thugs and, you know, creeps. So the Unselect Committee...
Unselect Committee. This is how goddamn dumb this fucking retard is. Unselect isn't even a fucking word. It's deselect. Deselect, you dumb fuck. Unselect. Oh my fucking god. And the fucking hilarious thing about this is that he thinks he's being clever. But he's like, oh, I'm not going to say the select committee, I'm going to say the unselect committee. Not realizing that unselect isn't even a fucking word. It's deselect, you dumb fuck. Jesus Christ.
Went through a year and a half of testimony. Wait. They deleted and destroyed all evidence of that they found. You know why? Because Nancy Pelosi was guilty. Nancy Pelosi turned down 10,000 troops. You wouldn't have had a J6 because other people...
Oh my god. This is the thing. Does he just think if he says it enough time, it'll become true? Like, how many times do we need to debunk this bullshit fucking claim? Yup, it's all Nancy Pelosi's fault. Yup, it's all fucking Nancy Pelosi. And the fucking 10,000 troops. Yup, that's who it was. Where the fuck is this? Oh my god, it's so annoying. PolitiFact. Crimes. 10 U.S. states have more crime. Yeah. See, this is like the fact that I literally can't even find the right tab because we've had to fact check this idiot so goddamn much. And on top of that, I'm skipping over 90% of his lies. I'm not even Googling half of it. Like, U.S. birthright citizenship, lousy healthcare, crime at an all-time high. Fact check. 10,000. Do we not even, or do they not even bother fact checking it because they fucking fact checked it so many goddamn times? Oh, here it is. 10,000 soldiers. In 2021, we explored this claim twice and debunked it, each time awarding 4 Pinocchios. Then, in late 2022, the January 6th committee released its report and dozens of transcribed interviews that provided new details on the meetings in which Trump claims he requested troops at the Capitol. The report underscored how Trump has little basis to make this claim, saying that he brought up the issue on at least 3 occasions, but in such vague and obtuse ways that no senior official regarded his words as an order. Trump, as usual, in his most recent post yet again claims that then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi rejected his request for troops, but the evidence showed Trump did not issue any formal request, so there was nothing for Pelosi to heed. Ugh, God, he's so fucking stupid. And that's the thing. His dumbass supporters repeat this shit hook, line, and sinker. They don't actually fact check anything. They don't know fuck all about how the government actually fucking works. So they just repeat the same bullshit he says. That's why he says it so much. Illegally deleted and destroyed most of the evidence. Trump is seizing on House GOP claims that the committee archive is missing some records. Not only is that claim rejected by the chair of the Jan 6 committee, Rep. Benny G. Thompson, but not even Republicans have claimed most of the documents are missing. Instead, we are talking about videos and some sensitive materials, and there is no indication any of these materials concern the alleged troop order. First, the committee did not include raw videos as part of the permanent records, but instead provided official transcripts of the video interviews. Based on the guidance of House authorities, the Select Committee determined that the written transcripts provided by nonpartisan professional official reporters, which the witnesses and Select Committee staff had the opportunity to review for errata, were the official permanent records of the transcribed interviews. Thompson wrote in a letter to Rep. Barry Loudermilk, who has raised questions about the completeness of the committee archive. In other words, the text of any video interview is still available for review. So yeah, nothing is missing.
People were guilty. The people that said that I attacked 2 Secret Service agents in a car. I grabbed one around the neck. I was then rebuffed, and I grabbed the other one. These are 2 of the toughest men anywhere on the planet. They happen to be slightly younger than me, maybe, just a little bit. Let me just tell you. They testified. They said it was total and all of this stuff came out. People lied so badly. Now.
Yeah, you right now.
Listen, this was a committee, a big deal. They lied. And what did they do? They deleted and destroyed a whole 1.5 years worth of testimony. Do you know that I think those people committed a major crime. Sir? And Cheney was behind it.
Listen to her trying to get it. Sir, everything you're saying is bullshit, sir. Sir, we have to move on because you're just spewing fucking lies right now and everybody knows this is not true. Sir? It
was Benny Thompson and everybody on that committee. For what they did.
Yeah.
Honestly, they should go to jail.
Yeah, we've heard this one. Yeah, you done yet?
So you think Liz Cheney should go to jail?
For what they did.
Everyone on the committee, you think
I think everybody anybody that voted in favor.
Are you going to direct your FBI director and your attorney general to send them to jail?
No, not at all. I think
no, they'll do that all on their own, and then it'll be like, I didn't order them to do it. They just did it on their own. Yeah.
They'll have to look at that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to focus on drill, baby, drill.
When you say that, it carries weight, though. You've tapped these people to lead the Justice Department and FBI.
They can do whatever they want.
Okay.
Biden can give him a pardon if he wants to, and maybe he should. Just remember.
Yeah, he definitely should. He definitely should. If he's saying that, yeah, he definitely should give them a fucking pardon, because I mean, this is just, oh my God. I like when they all lie to us into every war. Yeah, really? Do you like when Trump lied to you about not being in any wars while he wasn't president? Oh, I'm sorry. Then he had to pivot because that bullshit lie didn't hold up. He had to pivot to no new wars, because you guys always have to constantly move the goalpost whenever confronted with facts, because your bullshit doesn't hold up under the slightest scrutiny.
Select Committee, a year and a half of sworn testimony, and after getting all of the testimony, they deleted it, and they destroyed almost every...
Why is he saying this again?
And officials say that the order never came in for the National Guard. But on January 6th, let me ask you this about January 6th. I think you're going to want to answer
wrote in a statement that he has destroyed all evidence.
Let me ask you
I like how she's just like, yeah, that's bullshit. Anyway, I'm going to move on to my next question now. Good. Don't even let him spew his fucking bullshit. Just cut him off.
This about January 6th.
I wish you could be if you have such potential. If you could be just
if you could just be a little bit more of a shameless shill like the hosts on Fox, I'd really appreciate it. They let me get all my lies out before they go on to the next softball question with zero pushback. I really appreciate it if you would just let me finish lying profusely. You have so much potential. Yeah, so much potential. That is, by the way, if you're any semblance of a respectable journalist, if Trump is saying you have potential, that should be taken as the ultimate fucking insult. If this fucking I can't even think of a good enough fucking insult for it. But if he says that you have potential, you're doing something wrong, lady. You should feel really, really bad about yourself.
Unbiased. You hurt yourself so badly. I'm telling you. They deleted and destroyed all the evidence. Everyone knows it. And you slough it off like...
Everyone knows it, except for anybody that can actually prove it. Everybody knows it. Well, that's interesting how nobody's coming forward with all this evidence of that thing that everybody knows. That's kind of weird, huh? Oh, well, let's look no further into it, shall we? Jesus.
It doesn't mean anything.
No, I'm just saying they deny it. That's all I'm saying.
Kristen, if I did it, you would be standing up in that chair shouting at me. And you know what I'd do? I'd say, you got me.
Yeah, that's what you would do. I'd say, you got me. You got me, guys. You know, just like when I said that, you got me. You got me stashing nuclear secrets in the shitter of my country club. You got me, guys. I led a little insurrection. You got me. Just like all these other times, I just stood up and said, you got me. Well-known, you got me guy, Trump.
Have done something so illegal. They have a committee sworn to, and because it was so bad, the only reason they did it is because the testimony turned out to be in favor of me. Like Secret Service testified and disputed everything. It made them into a bunch of liars. Not Secret Service, it made the people. They got rid of it because it made Nancy Pelosi, the mayor of D.C., so many people look like criminals. And I will tell you, it's illegal for them to delete.
So many of them look like criminals. Remind me, who's the only one that has a mugshot?
And to destroy that evidence.
Let me ask you about January 6th in a different capacity, okay? I think you're going to want to answer this question. You promised to pardon those.
Oh, good. I think you're going to want to answer this one, which means it's just going to be the softest of all softballs. I think you'll like this one. I tailor-made it just for you. Ugh.
Attack the Capitol on January 6th. Are you still vowing to follow through with that promise?
We're looking at it right now, most likely, yeah.
Well,
those people have suffered long and hard, and there may be some exceptions to it. I have to look. But, if somebody was radical, crazy, there might be some people from Antifa there. I don't know, because those people seem to be in good shape. Whatever happened to Scaffold Man? You know who Scaffold Man was? He stood on a scaffold telling everybody to go and nothing happened to him. Whatever happened to Ray Epps? Now, I don't know anything about Ray Epps.
Don't you love how he's just like right as she's about to say something, she's just like, oh, whatever happened to Ray Epps too? And she's literally just about to say something about Scaffold Man. It's like, whatever happened to Scaffold Man? And right as she's about to talk, she's like, oh, no, just topic change, pivot. Oh my God, Ray Epps. Hey, remember that classic Ray Epps line that he said when he went on trial? Is like, I never thought that Fox News was lying until they started lying about me. God, that line really sticks with me, man. Because it's just like, it just sums up the right perfectly. You know, they will fucking gobble up all the lies and propaganda, right up until those lies and propaganda are about them personally. Oh, I fucking love the right. They're hilarious.
But it was sort of strange the way he was talking. Where is he? What happened to him? Because the people...
Where is he? What happened to him? Didn't he go to fucking jail? What happened to Ray Epps? Ray Epps. Ray Epps, target of Capitol riot conspiracy, sentenced to how much? Sentenced to probation. Where is that? Fuck, I want to hear that line he says about Ray Epps. Ray Epps didn't believe Fox was lying until trouble with he was loyal Fox News viewer before they started. It was target of January 6th. Truth Matter. Says he'll be charged. Sues Fox News over Jan 6th. Where is he? He's suing Fox News over the conspiracies they fucking started about him, apparently. Oh, judge dismisses defamation law. Of course. Of course they do. It's so fucking funny.
That did very little. They arrested an old woman because I don't think she did.
Broke into the fucking Capitol? Are those the words you're looking for, you idiot? Lord, they're arresting an old woman just for storming the Capitol. God, can you believe this fascist state we're living in? Can't even do a little insurrecting these days. Jesus.
Did anything. They don't even know what she did. These people have suffered. Their lives have been destroyed. And yet in Portland, where they burn down half the city, they burn it down all the time. It's like a, routine occurrence. They don't do anything. They attack the courthouse, federal courthouse. They always say federal building. Okay. They destroyed the beautiful limestone exterior of the courthouse in Portland. They killed people.
It's interesting. It's interesting that he's listing all this shit that happened in his administration. Why didn't you do anything about it? Huh? Mr. Biden's crime is through the roof. Well, if it's all Biden's responsible for everything that happens during his administration, this shit happened during your administration, fuckface. Why didn't you lock everybody up, Mr. Law and Order? Hey, I got a question. You left office on January 20th. That pretty sure happened after January 6th. I'm no fucking timeline expert here. We'll have to contact somebody from the Marvel universe to fucking do a fact check on that one for me. But I'm pretty sure January 20th comes after January 6th. So why didn't you preemptively pardon all the Jan 6 rioters? I thought you were such a man of the people, huh? Oh, that's right, because you were too busy spending your last 45 minutes in office pardoning the ex-husband of a Fox News host for tax evasion. Yup, because that's how much he cares about his faithful little minions.
In Portland, Seattle, people got killed in Seattle. Seattle, they took over a big chunk of the city. They took it over. They took the city away. Minneapolis, it looked like when they said this is a friendly protest, and yet over the poor slob from CNN, his shoulder, the entire city was burning down. It looked like World War II. Nothing happened. But wait, nothing happened. They took over the police station. They took over the police station in Minneapolis. They burned it down. Nothing happened to anybody.
I just want to.
Yeah, it kind of seems like the president really wasn't doing his fucking job then, huh? Jeez, who was in charge? Oh, you. That's right. Oops. But Biden's letting crime get out of control. I mean, it's all Biden's fault, right? Even that shit that happened during your administration is still somehow Biden's fault.
These people have been in jail, and I hear the jail is a hellhole. They've done reports, and you would say that's true. They've done reports. This is the most disgusting, filthy place. These people are living in hell.
Let me just.
And I think it's very unfair.
But
most likely, I'll do it very quickly.
Very quickly. Okay, but some of them, 169 of them, have pleaded guilty to assaulting police officers.
Because they had no choice.
900.
They had no choice, guys. They had to assault the police officers. They had no choice. What? I mean, why just go to the kitchen and make yourself a sandwich when you can fly over to D.C. and beat police officers with a fucking flagpole? You had no choice. These are the decisions that people have to make in their daily lives, everybody. They had no choice.
Other crimes, they're also going to be eligible for a pardon from you?
Listen, it's a very tough system. Do you know almost nobody? I saw people that didn't even go into the building and they were convicted. And you had the police saying, come on in, come on in. I mean, you know, the police are saying, come on in, everybody, come on in. They had people, you know, you have a lot of cameras. They don't want to release the tapes. They don't want to release the tapes.
So, but you're going to consider pardoning even those who've pleaded guilty to crimes, including assaulting police officers?
Well, sometimes they say, here's your choice.
You're not ruling it out?
Look, I know the system. The system's a very corrupt system. They say to a guy, you're going to go to jail for 2 years or for 30 years. And these guys are looking, their whole lives have been destroyed. For 2 years, they've been destroyed. But the system is a very nasty system.
Okay. Let's
I'm going to look at everything. We're going to look at individual cases, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm going to be acting very quickly.
Within your first 100 days, first day?
First day.
First day.
Acting very quickly. Because for some reason, those last 3 weeks that he was in office, he just couldn't act quickly then. It was just, not on his list of priorities. I don't know, you know, he had more important things to do, I guess. Just, you know, pardoning Jeanine Pirro's ex-husband for tax evasion in his final 45 minutes in office. That was the most important thing that he had to do. Not all you freedom warriors that laid down your lives doing your civic duty of beating police with flagpoles, you know, that you just had to do. I mean, nobody's faulting you for it. You had to do it, apparently.
Yeah, I'm looking for.
But by the way, you're all Antifa and FBI agents, and you deserve everything you get. So I don't know why we're talking about freeing you.
These pardons.
These people have been there. How long is it? 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
You know, by the way, they've been in there for years, and they're in a filthy, disgusting place that shouldn't even be allowed to be open.
Let's talk about your cabinet picks. I know we started off talking about Pete Hegseth, but I just want to return to that very quickly. Have you gotten assurances from senators that he's going to be confirmed? Do you think he can make it?
No, I think you will, yeah. I've had a lot of senators call me up saying he's fantastic.
You don't drink yourself.
No.
You've talked about how devastating drinking can be.
Yeah.
How concerned are you that the person who you picked for this top job at the Defense Department, at least according to those who've worked with him, has struggled with drinking?
But I've spoken to people that know him very well, and they say he does not have a drinking problem. Right. And, you know, he had a lot of knives out for him. A lot of people don't want to see the military made better.
Let me ask you about former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard. You picked her to be the Director of National Intelligence.
Right.
In 2017, she had 2 secret meetings with Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad. Do you have questions or concerns about those meetings?
No. And he's got bigger problems right now.
Well, do you think it makes it hard for her?
His country is collapsing.
Yeah. I mean, do you think it compromises her ability to handle that?
I met with Putin. I met with President Xi of China. I met with Kim Jong-un twice. Does that mean that I can't be president?
Well, when you were president, they weren't secret meetings.
Look, people meet. All these people meet. I mean, I see some of the most dishonest people. I'll tell you, the 51 agents that said that the laptop wasn't from...
That's fucking crazy. I mean, do you realize how fucking insane that is? That he's just like, people meet with people, you know? I mean, just some random fucking person is just having a secret meeting with a fucking dictator of another country. And yeah, she should just be in charge of national intelligence now. I see no reason to look into that whatsoever. Do you realize how fucking insane that is? That's nuts. That is beyond a security threat. That is like literally, why don't you just pick out, why don't you just ask Russia and China to send over their best spies and line them all up in front of you so you can pick which one you want to install in the fucking CIA and FBI and everything personally? Why don't you just do that? Just streamline the process there, bud.
Hunter, it was from Russia. What about them? Tell me about them. Do you think they did something wrong? Do you think they were all so stupid that they thought that the laptop from hell?
So you have confidence in Tulsi Gabbard?
I do. As soon as I mean, she's a very respected person.
Let me ask you about RFK Jr. He has obviously talked about his skepticism of vaccines. He's expressed opposition to childhood vaccines. Do you want to see childhood vaccines eliminated?
If they're dangerous for the children. Look.
So possibly?
When you look at some of the problems, when you look at what's going on with disease and sickness in our country, something's wrong.
Are you talking about autism?
Well, if you take a look at autism, you go back 25...
Something's wrong. Yeah, do you think maybe it's that literally half the country is listening to your brain-dead fucking base that goes against science and evolution and every fucking bit of biology and epidemiology that comes their fucking way? Do you think maybe that has something to do with anything? Do you think that maybe after the vaccine came out, the reason that the red states all had the way higher mortality rate after COVID, you think that may have anything to do with you and your brain dead sycophants telling everybody to inject themselves with bleach and fucking take horse dewormer? You think that might have anything to do with why the country's so sick? No? Oh, of course not.
5 years, autism was almost non-existent. It was, 1 out of 100,000, and now it's close to 1 out of 100.
Well,
I mean, what's happening? If they can find it. Now, I did something the other night that was a little unusual. At Mar-a-Lago, I called the drug companies, the top drug companies, and I called RFK Jr. and Dr. Oz and some of his people, and I said, let's all get...
I called the brainworms guy that likes to play with roadkill, and I called the TV doctor guy that's been sued a bunch of times for hawking bullshit weight loss drugs on his TV show, and I called them and I said, hey, get over here and let's make America healthy again, guys.
Together and let's figure out where we're going, because we're going to do a lot of things. Number one, we're going to reduce prices, because the middleman makes more money than the drug companies, in all fairness to the drug companies. There's a middleman that nobody even knows who they are. And you look at our drug prices, they're much higher than the prices for the same medicine, for the same stuff. So we met, and we met for a long time, and we talked about pricing, and we talked about vaccines, in terms of...
You met with the mysterious middleman? Then how do we not know who they are? If you met with the mysterious middleman, that's, okay, so who is it? Gary and Greg Middleman? And you met with them and you talked about the vaccine prices and everything? Okay, cool. So I'm assuming everything's going to become a lot more affordable. It's interesting how none of this ties into his concepts of a healthcare plan, though. It's interesting how none of these two things ever seem to cross paths.
What happens? We talked about pesticides. We talked about everything. And I think a lot of good things are going to come from him. And he's not going to upset any system. He's not going to upset this. He's not looking to, to reinvent the wheel totally. But when you look at the numbers, we really don't have a very healthy country.
Well, sir, going back 25 years, studies show that there is no link between vaccines and autism. And yet it sounds like you are open to the possibility of him looking
I'm
at
open to
getting
anything.
rid of them?
I think somebody has to find out. If you go back 25 years ago, you had very little autism. Now you have it. I mean...
Well, they say because they're better at identifying it.
Who says that? The fucking doctors? What do they know, lady? Shut up, you stupid bitch. God, what an idiot. This fucking... If you believe this, bitch, you must be a libtard. You libtard cuck. Shut up. Better at identifying it. Ugh. You believe the audacity of this bitch?
1 in 100,000, and now it's 1 in 100. That's a pretty bad number.
Childhood vaccines.
I mean, something is going on. I don't know if it's vaccines. Maybe it's chlorine in the water, right? People are looking at a lot of different things.
Well, childhood vaccines.
I want them to look at.
He means fluoride. I mean, there is chlorine in the drinking water too, but I mean, he's talking about fluoride because he's such a fucking idiot that he can't even fucking remember more than one word at a time. Yes, chlorine is in the water, but he's talking about fluoride.
Everything. So childhood vaccines have prevented about 4 million deaths around the world every year.
I think that's
so
great.
Isn't that...
I'm all for it. I think it's great. Hey, look, I'm not against vaccines. The polio vaccine is the greatest thing. If somebody told me get rid of the polio vaccine, they're going to have to work real hard to convince me. I think certain vaccines are incredible, but maybe some aren't. And if they aren't, we have to find out. But when you talk about autism, because it was brought up, and you look at the amount we have today versus 20 or 25 years ago, it's pretty scary.
Well, again, scientists say that's because they've gotten better at identifying it, and there's no link.
Lady, I don't want to hear from those pesky scientists. Shut up. Orange Man is talking. All-knowing, all-being, all-omnipotent Orange Man knows better than any scientist. Shut up. Shut your stupid face. Stupid bitch. God. Are you telling me what these fucking scientists say? Nobody cares about scientists.
But the drug companies are going to be working with RFK Jr. and he's been an interesting guy to me. I've watched him for 25 years. And he's been an interesting guy.
Let's talk about Elon Musk, another interesting person.
He's very interesting.
Last month, one of your allies said, quote, he's behaving as if he's a co-president. Will you favor Elon Musk over other...
I love this so much because you know Trump is too stupid to see what she's actually doing here. I love this so much. She's trying to pit the two oversized egos against one another right now, because the only person with as big or bigger ego than Trump is Elon Musk, and this is just burning him up inside. He thinks he's what? He thinks he's the co-president? Oh my god, I'm gonna give him such a stern talking to when I go back to Mar-a-Lago, because that motherfucker hasn't left my house since election day. He's literally been there. He has 11 fucking kids. He didn't spend Thanksgiving with any one of them. Oh, you know, he spent them with one of them, the one that he brought with him to Mar-a-fucking-Lago. But Jesus Christ, dude, this is hilarious. This is literally the Kamala debate interview version of Kamala baiting him, where oh, okay. I just got a little bit more respect for this lady. This is hilarious. Good. Pit the two idiots against each other.
Leaders of competitor companies like Jeff Bezos, Mary Barra.
No, Jeff Bezos called me. We're having dinner. As you know, Mark Zuckerberg came in. We had a really nice dinner. He asked to have dinner. I had dinner with him. I'm having dinner with everybody. People like me now. You know, it's something going on that people. I said, would you have come to dinner with me if I lost? I think the answer is no. You know, I said nicely, kiddingly, of course, because I don't want to sound foolish. But I say jokingly, would you have been here at dinner if I lost? And the answer was probably not. Look, I'm getting called by everybody. It's very interesting. It's different than the first. You know, when I won the first time, I wasn't nearly as popular as this. And one thing that's very important in terms of the election, I love that I won the popular vote, and by a lot. If I didn't,
1.6%.
because they
Oh, that was nice. That was nice. Okay, I like this. I like this girl now. That was good. That was really good. I love how she just snuck that in there. You won by 1.6%. You won by 1.6%. You absolute jack. I won by a lot. You won by 1.6%. Oh, God, that was funny. That was good. Good job, Christy or Kristen or whatever the fuck your stupid name is. That was funny. I approve.
they would go with the other one. They say, while he didn't win the popular vote, he won a lot of, you know, I won a lot of the Electoral College, but
I won a lot of the Electoral College. Oh my God, dude. This is like a parody of real life. I won a lot of the Electoral College. Good job, Donnie. Good job. You won a lot of the Electoral College. I love, oh, by the way, Does that not mean that he's now admitting that he lost the popular vote? I thought the popular vote was rigged in 2016. So now you're saying that it wasn't rigged. You just fucking lost. You lost and were gifted the presidency the first time by the Electoral College. You're admitting it? Finally? Is that what you're saying there, fuckface? Oh, God. This is so fucking stupid.
But they would always preface it by saying, now they say he won the popular vote and he won the Electoral College and he won all 7 swing states. That was a great election.
Very quickly, because we're going to talk about the election coming up, but you've tapped Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, to head up this Department of Government Efficiency.
Correct.
Which proposes cuts to the federal government. I think a lot of people.
Which is hilariously stupid because they literally already have something that keeps tabs on how efficient the government is being run. And then to make an entirely new entity and then not have one person running it, but have 2 people running it, just the most efficient thing possible, have a redundant organization and then have not 1, but 2 people running it is peak efficiency, guys. We're off to a great start here.
People hear that and they get concerned about Medicare and Social Security and
Not
Medicaid
going to have anything to do.
and defense spending.
We're talking
you
about
won't touch
theft,
Medicare, Social Security.
Abuse, fraud.
Okay.
No, I said to people, we're not touching Social Security, other than we make it more efficient, but the people are going to get what
No,
they get.
we'll make it more efficient. That's what we'll do. We're not touching Social Security. We're making it more efficient, guys. So when you get less money, just know that's the efficiency working. That's the efficiency you're feeling.
So the entitlements
And
off
we're not
the table.
we're not raising ages or any of that stuff.
Okay,
No,
off the table.
I won't do it.
Okay. Let's turn to foreign policy. Should Ukraine prepare for less aid from the United States after you're sworn into
Possibly,
office?
yeah, probably.
Probably. Sure. Yup. Probably. Which is why Biden needs to send over as much as possible now. He's such a fucking little Putin simp. You know what the fucking hilarious part is? That even his own national intelligence, former national intelligence director thinks that Putin is blackmailing him. You know, that was in Bob Woodward's book, and considering Bob Woodward's the guy that broke the Watergate story, I tend to believe Bob Woodward over fucking Orange Man over here. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to know what he has on him. What does he have? Is it the piss tape? We've all heard rumors about the fucking golden showers. I think it's something along those lines. Because this fucking sad sack of shit has been trying to pay off that porn star not once, but twice. Twice after the felony convictions, after the court case and everything, he was still trying to pay off Stormy Daniels a second time. So yeah, do I think that this egotistical prick is definitely being blackmailed by Putin? Yes, 1000%. He did something in the 60s and 70s, back when he thought he was never going to run for fucking president, back when he was hanging out with Epstein. He did something in Russia, and there's a fucking video of it. I swear to God, dude, I'm calling it right now.
You've said you can end the war in
We're in
24
for 350 billion, and Europe is in for 100 billion. Why isn't Europe in for the same as us? The one thing that should happen.
Literally none of that is true. We're not in for 150 billion, or did he say 350 billion or 150 billion? What lie did you just spit out?
Why isn't Europe in 50 billion? Sure.
You've said you can end the war in 24
We're in for 350 billion.
$350 billion. He says that we've just the audacity of that stupid fucking number. Okay, cool. Let's fucking fact check this shit. No, we have not sent over fucking 350 billion. How much aid has the U.S. given to Ukraine? As of September, Ukraine response funding totals nearly 183,000 with 130 billion obligated. Okay, yeah, but who much aid is going to Ukraine? Because I know Europe has sent over more. U.S. security, U.S. command. The United States has sent Ukraine over 60 billion in funding and equipment. So wait, is that the whole number? What is this? How much? Special IG or fiscal year 2022-2024. Congress appropriated 134 billion. Okay, so that's state 124. Okay, so this is the U.S. So 183 billion from the U.S. How much aid has Europe given to Ukraine? September 2024, October 11th, Ukraine support tracker. Hey, that would have been easy. February 2023, yeah. Where's the number? Okay, Ukraine support tracker. Until October 30th. Update December 5th. 70 billion pounds. How much shit. Isn't a pound like $2 American? Pound to you. There it is, to US dollar. So $1.28. So that's like 70s, like what, 90 billion American? So yeah, it's like 90-ish, give or take, billion that Europe's given, and 183. So we've given double.
And Europe is in for 100 billion. Why isn't Europe in for the same as us? The one thing that should happen is that Europe should come in they should equalize. And, you know, Biden, all he had to do, like I did with NATO, I said, you got to pay your bills. They weren't paying their bills.
Which is fucking hilarious coming from a guy who is notorious throughout his entire life not paying his bills. He literally, the reason he was out in like the open so often on the last campaign trail was because venues refused to host his fucking rallies because he didn't pay his bills from the last presidential campaign in 2016. Like, this is why he was out in the open so long, so much that people were able to shoot at him. Because he didn't pay his fucking bills from the first time. Little fun fact about Mr. Pay Your Bills over here. And by the way, it's not a fucking bill. It's literally 2% of the country's GDP. Which is like, varies depending on which country we're talking about. Varies drastically.
The Secretary General said, President Trump got 600 billion, no, 640 to be exact. And I used to use the 400 billion number. He corrected me. He said, no, you actually got $641 billion put in.
Now it's 640 to be exact. And then a second later, it's 641 billion. And then watch, 2 seconds later, it's going to be 645 billion. And the bullshit number is just going to keep on going up, guys. But what are the fucking facts on this? Because we goddamn know that this moron isn't fucking... Okay. Putin's aggression led to more spending by NATO allies. Why Donald Trump's boast that he got delinquent NATO allies to pay up is misleading, because it's bullshit. But how so? NATO, formerly the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, was created in 1949. Okay, we got it. The alliance agreed an armed attack against one is an armed attack against all. Yeah. In 2014, after Russia's illegal annexation of Crimea, the NATO's head of state and government agreed to spend 2% of their GDP on defense in 2024. The agreement was aspirational, not binding. Countries are not delinquent if they've missed that target. They are welching on a commitment, but there is no enforcement mechanism, said Justin Logan, Cato Institute director of blah, 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 blah. The 2% target is about each country investing their own in their own defense so that the alliance as a whole could be stronger, better able to deter or defeat various threats, mostly Russia. NATO wasn't busted when Trump became president in 2017. The NATO defense spending has been increasing since the 2014 Crimea annexation, and spending accelerated after Russia further invaded Ukraine in 2022. Jeremy Shapiro, the European Council, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so... Oh, and this is all the countries, was 2023 and 2014. So yeah, literally every single goddamn country is, even the US isn't putting in the fucking, oh my god, dude, what the hell? Defense expenditure as a percentage of gross domestic products is okay, so that's 4%. Okay, so yeah, but we're still putting in more than we were in 2014, 10 years ago. Politically meeting the 2% level keeps your country out of the spotlight with general state of political grace and yeah. So, dude, pay your bills.
Because I said you have to pay your bills. We were paying for NATO. And you know why I got the money? Because I asked for it. It wasn't that complicated. Europe is in for a fraction. And war with Russia is more important for Europe than it is for us. It's important for everybody, but it's more important for Europe than it is for us.
And you've said
we have a little thing called an ocean in between us.
You said you can end.
Dude. Oh my fucking God. He's literally got the mentality of a fucking toddler. You were literally just in France for a fucking building reopening for the fucking Notre Dame. Dude, that fucking ocean doesn't seem to be that much of a fucking barrier. Why? This is insane, dude. This guy is fucking brain dead. We have this thing called an ocean. An ocean? Dude, wait until you look at the other side of the country. There's one over there, too. First of all, and you say that as if we don't have nuclear fucking submarines literally swimming around these fucking things all day long, 24/7 days a week. Fucking dude, an ocean. Hey, you remember that ocean over there, guys? That's the reason that we've never gone to war. It's all because of the ocean, guys. People haven't figured out this water thing yet.
The war in 24 hours.
Like, this is embarrassing, dude. This is embarrassing on a national level. You know how fucking embarrassing it is that this idiot is in charge of fucking anything? He shouldn't be in charge of a goddamn lemonade stand being this fucking dumb.
You even said you want to try to end it before you're sworn into office.
I'm trying to end it.
Yeah, hey, whatever happened to that, fuckface? You said you were going to have the war in Ukraine ended in your first 24 hours of being elected. You forget that one? Can we roll the tape on that? Literally the first 24 hours of being elected, you said you were going to have that shit done. You've now been elected for a month, 6 weeks, almost 6 weeks, 5 weeks. Little over 5 weeks you've been elected. What the fuck's the holdup, guy? I thought you were gonna have that shit ended by now. What happened to that? Oh yeah, just another fucking lie. Just another shameless fucking lie.
Trying to?
I am.
Have you talked to President Putin?
No, I have not.
You haven't talked to President Putin since
not.
you've been elected?
No. Well, I don't want to say that, but I haven't spoken to him recently.
So you've spoken to President Putin since you've been elected?
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say anything about that because I don't want to do anything that could impede the negotiation.
Saying that you were talking to him would impede the negotiations. How fucking shitty of a negotiator are you that simply saying that you've spoken to him will torpedo those negotiations? My God, dude. The fucking... Dude, what was the fucking stupid book he wrote called? The Art of the Deal guy really sucks at making deals. If the art of the deal is so fragile that you can't even say that you've spoken to the other party. Wow, man. That sounds like a pretty fragile fucking deal you got there, guy. Mr. Deal Maker, man.
I want to stop it. Let me tell you what I have talked about. Let me tell you. There are people being killed in that war at levels that nobody's ever seen before. You have to go back to the Second World War, and even that, if you take a look at, and you know what it is? It's the soldiers largely. The cities have been emptied out and demolished. The country has been demolished. If I won that election, which you know how I feel about it, I won't get into it because we don't need to start that argument. I think it's an easy argument. It was really proven even more conclusively by the win that I had on this one. But
it was proven more conclusively by the win you had in this one. The win you had where you got like, was it like fucking over 1 million less votes? The win you had, the win where literally, so we rigged the last election. We stole the last election from him when he had control of the White House, the Senate, and the House of Congress. And now that we have the White House, the Senate, and, you know, pretty much the fucking Congress too, somehow just slipped our minds to rig this election. Ah, I see. That makes sense. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't. You're just a lying sack of shit that can't admit you lost the last election.
But you did go to court, sir.
Well, that's your opinion, but I disagree with it.
That's your opinion. That's the opinion of the sane half of the country, you know, that still accepts facts as reality. You know, those pesky people.
I assumed, kept control. Number one, Israel wouldn't have happened. Number two, Ukraine would have never happened. It would have never happened, Ukraine, Russia. But
it would have never happened, guys. That thing that literally was already happening while he was in office, that happened in 2014, and he did nothing to stop. He did nothing about the fighting in the Donbass for his entire administration. It would have never happened. None of that would have happened, guys. Oh, geez. If only we hadn't stolen that last election.
The number of people that are being killed, soldiers, young, beautiful soldiers, hundreds of thousands of people are being killed. And, you know, it's very interesting. It's level, totally level. The battlefield's totally level. You know what's happening? Yeah. The only thing that stops a bullet, you know what it is a body, a human body. And the people that...
What the fuck? Dude. Lots of things can stop a bullet, fuckface. Dirt stops bullets. Fucking houses stops bullets. Tanks stop bullets. Armor stops bullets. Kevlar stops bullets. You wouldn't know any of these things if you didn't get daddy to write you a doctor's note to say that your little feeties hurt so you could get out of going to Vietnam, you fucking pussy. God damn. The only thing that stops a bullet is a body. War expert Trump over here. Jeez, I wonder why you fucking got daddy to write a doctor's note to get you out of fucking going to Vietnam now. It's a real mystery there. He's such a war expert, this guy.
They're being killed. Hundreds of thousands on both sides. Russia's lost probably 500,000. Ukraine's lost higher than they say, probably 400,000. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of bodies laying all over fields. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen, and it should have never been allowed to happen. Biden should have been able to stop it.
Sir, will the United States stay in NATO while you're in office?
In where?
NATO. Do you commit that the United States will remain a member of NATO while you're in office?
Again, they have to pay their bills. If they pay their bills, absolutely.
But not if they don't pay their bills.
But NATO's taken advantage of us because we were look, two things. Number one, they take advantage of us on trade, meaning the European nations, okay, like terrible. They don't take our cars, they don't take our food product, they don't take any.
Cool, has nothing to do with NATO, you dumb fuck. You do trade with countries that aren't in NATO, you stupid asshole. What the fuck are you talking about?
Anything. They think it's a disgrace. And on top of that, we defend them. So it's a double whammy. So let me just tell you, I was able to get hundreds of billions of dollars put into NATO just by a tough attitude. I said to the countries, I'm not going to protect you unless you pay. And they started paying. And that amounted to more than $600 billion. That's a big thing. Otherwise, they wouldn't even be fighting.
Literally none of that is true. They've been increasing spending since 2014. Like, this is so fucking annoying. Like, I mean, like, you got 4 years of this because it's just... Nothing he says is true. Like, how many fucking times have we had to stop and go, that's not true, that's not true, here's the facts on this is what actually happened here. Because this fucking jackass can't get through a single fucking conversation without lying about something. Ever. Ever. We got 4 fucking years of this. Minimum. Assuming he leaves office in 4 years.
They wouldn't have any money to fight. If they're paying their bills, and if I think they're doing if they're treating us fairly, the answer is absolutely, I'd stay with NATO.
But if not, you would consider the possibility of
absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Let's turn to the Middle East now, sir. There are still American hostages being held in Gaza. Yeah. You said this week that if the hostages aren't released before Inauguration Day, quote, there will be all hell to pay.
Correct.
What exactly?
But we've just established that that means nothing because he said he was going to have the war in Ukraine solved within 24 hours of being elected. I'm pretty sure it's been more than 24 hours. I'm no mathematician here, but... You know, those numbers get away from me sometimes, but I'm pretty sure it's been longer than 24 hours. His exact words were, within 24 hours of being elected, even before I get into office, I will have that war finished. Is it finished yet, guys? Oh, no? Wow. Shocking.
Exactly did you mean? And do you still think that the hostages are alive?
I'm not a big believer in the fact that there are too many of them living, sadly, because I've seen the way they've been treated. I talk about the young girl that was pulled by her hair violently and thrown into the back of a car like she was a sack of potatoes. And I said, you know, that's hatred. And then I said, how did that young girl do? Beautiful young girl just dragged by her hair. You remember, blood pouring all over her body. You can imagine the parents thrown into the back of a car by some horrible guy. And I said, how is she? She's dead. She died, sir. I don't think you have as many. I mean, I hate to say it. I think you have far fewer hostages than people think.
Really?
That's what I think. It's only my opinion, but okay. I've been right on just about everything.
But I've been right on just about everything, guys. You know, except for all the shit I was wrong about and all the other shit that I lied about. I was right about everything in between, though. Oh, my fucking God, dude. What the fuck?
Are you going to pressure Prime Minister Netanyahu, with whom you have a very good relationship, to end the war in Gaza?
Yeah, sure.
And have you already started that process?
I want him to end it, but you got to have a victory. People forget about October 7th. That was as violent. And you know what's happening? I noticed that a lot of people are saying, oh, it never really happened. That's like the Holocaust. You know, you have Holocaust deniers. Now you have October 7th deniers, and it just happened. No, October 7th happened. And I've seen the pictures. It is, what happened is horrible.
If China invades Taiwan on your watch, are you committed to defending Taiwan?
I never say.
Still won't say?
I never say, because I have to negotiate things, right?
Can you just say if you'll defend it? I'm not saying if the U.S. military.
Dude, this is what I'm talking about. How much of a shitty negotiator are you that you can't even say? You can't even say what your position is on anything. Gotta keep them guessing. Do you know what kind of bullshit fucking stance that is on fucking geopolitics? Do you know how fucking insane that is? To fucking just have a hostile nation just kind of wondering what he's gonna do? Like, geez. Yeah, like, I love the idea of having every single potential conflict having to come down to actual physical negotiations, because fuckface can never just make a statement on anything. That's definitely a more efficient way to run a country.
I prefer that they don't do it. I have a very good relationship with President Xi. We have been communicating with each other.
Since you were elected?
Yes.
And you sent that message?
Since like 3 days ago. Yes, we communicate.
And you sent that message to him, don't invade Taiwan?
We didn't talk about that. Okay. We talked about other things. But I have a very good relationship, and I hope he doesn't do it.
This week, a federal court upheld a law that could result in TikTok being banned. You said you're going to rescue TikTok when you get into office. Are you going to take steps to protect it?
Yeah, and as you.
By the way, this is the same guy that tried to ban TikTok when he was in office and only changed his tune on TikTok like 6 months before the election because he met with a fucking donor. Trump's TikTok ban reversal comes after meeting mega donor who has stake in TikTok. Huh. What a coinky dink.
You know, I used TikTok very successfully in my campaign. I have a man named TikTok Jack. He was very effective, obviously, because I won youth by 30%. All Republicans lose youth. I don't know why.
He did not win youth by 30%. What did you win? 30% Trump Obamacare, Trump Union, migrants and murders, Venezuela, NATO. What was it? What was it? January 6th riot, terrorist jobs, inflation, vaccine, 2024 election. I won the youth vote by 30%. All Republicans lose the youth vote. Trump picked up a larger proportion of voters under 30 than any Republican president candidate since 2008, according to NBC exit polling, but he didn't win them. Among voters ages 18 to 29, Harris won 54% to Trump's 43%.
Maybe it's changing. And last time we were down 30% with youth. This time we're up 35% with youth. And I use TikTok, so I can't really, I can't totally hate it. It was very effective. But I will say this, if you do that, something else is going to come along and take its place. And maybe that's not fair. What they're doing, and really what the judge actually said was that you can't have Chinese companies. In other words, they have the right to ban it if you can prove that the Chinese companies own it. That's what the judge actually
So are you going to try to protect TikTok just very quick once you're in office?
I'm going to
if he gets paid enough.
Try and make it so that other companies don't become an even bigger monopoly.
Okay.
Because that's what happens.
We're winding down, and I know you have a plane to catch.
I do.
This is your first interview since you won the election.
Congratulations.
Yes,
I hope
congratulations
you do
to you.
well. I hope you do well with it.
Yes, and sir, I don't have to tell you this because you've talked about it. It comes at a time when the country is deeply divided. And now you're going to be leading this country for the next 4 years. For the sake of unifying this country, will you concede the 2020 election and turn the page on that chapter?
No.
Oh my God, dude, what? Oh, yeah, because man, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, Mr. Unity there. No, I'm not gonna concede that thing that I blatantly lost, and everybody says that I lost. Even the fucking 62 Republican judges that I put cases in front of, and 62 of them were thrown out. Yep, no. There's proof somewhere. Trust me.
Do that, but let me just tell you, when you say the country is deeply divided, I'm not the president. Joe Biden's the president.
But you're going to be the president.
No. I'm not the president.
Oh my God. I'm not the president, guys. You can't blame me for the country being divided. I'm not the president. Yeah, let's go back to his administration and see how united the country was, shall we? Let's just go take a peek back down memory lane to see how united the country was when he was in office the first time. Or here's something fun we can do. How about we just check back in 6 weeks and see how magically united the country becomes once fuckface is back in the White House. You can't blame it on me. I'm not the president.
So when you say it's deeply divided, I agree. But Biden's the president. I'm not. And he has been a divider. And you know where he divided it more than anything else, and it probably backfired on him, I think definitely, is weaponization. When he weaponized the Justice Department and he went after his political opponent, me, he went after his political opponent violently because he knew he couldn't beat him. And I think it really was a bad thing. And it really...
Again, going after his political opponent is not letting his political opponent hide nuclear secrets in the shitter of his country club, storming the Capitol, calling the governor of Georgia and telling him to find 11,000 votes, getting together 7 fake slates of electors to try and overturn the fucking election. Yeah, just little things like that, literally floor to ceiling fucking top secret documents in the shitter of his country club. Meanwhile, a kid was just sentenced to fucking 15 years in prison for showing a couple buddies over Discord that he was playing video games with a couple top secret documents. I don't even think they were top secret, but they were just fucking like secret or something like that. And yeah, he got 15 years. Meanwhile, fuckface over here gets to waltz back into the White House, even though he was stacking them up in the fucking shitter of his country club. No laws broken there, though. That's that evil 2-tier justice system he's always complaining about, guys.
Really divided our country.
Sir, Democrats have control of the White House now. They didn't in 2020. If they are going around stealing elections, why didn't they do it?
Yo! Oh my God, she actually said it! What? Dude, I was not expecting that one. Holy crap! Shit, what are you doing dropping facts here, lady? When did you get here? Whoa! She said what I said like fucking an hour and a half ago. Props. You finally got there. Yay. What's his excuse gonna be? Hey, fuckface, you were in control of the fucking White House and the fucking House and the Congress and the Senate and everything. Why were the evil Democrats able to steal it out from under you then, but not when they have full control of the government? What happened? What happened?
Divided our country.
Sir, Democrats have control of the White House now. They didn't in 2020. If they're going around stealing elections, why
when you
didn't
say
they do it
Democrats
this
have
time?
Control now
Of the White House.
Yeah.
Yes, now, as in right this split second, there's a Democratic president and a Democratic Senate and a Democratic Congress. Yes, right now.
So why didn't they steal this
Or actually,
election?
no, there's not a Democratic Congress. There's a slim Republican majority Congress.
Since they have more power now.
because I think it was too big to rig.
It was too big to rig, guys. Hey, it was too big to rig, even though it was smaller than last time. Somehow, it's too big to rig. It was too big to rig, despite getting millions less votes than he got last time. Somehow, it was too big to rig this time. What the fuck does that even mean? If you're rigging it, how the fuck can it ever be too big to be rigged? Second of all, how can it be too big this time if it's smaller than it was last time? You goddamn fucking moron. Oh, goddamn, dude. And this is the thing. It doesn't matter that none of that shit makes sense. It doesn't matter. All that matters is the slogan. It's too big to rig. That's all his brain dead supporters hear. Too big to rig. I said I got that on a fucking bumper sticker. That's it. Doesn't matter. No facts allowed. Don't think about it critically for even 5 seconds. Just repeat the slogan. Too big to rig. Do it too big to rig, even though it was smaller than last time.
So you won't.
Too big to rig.
To the people who say.
Literally just
that
repeats the
you won't-
slogan.
I think it was too big to rig.
So you won't.
Too big to rig.
Too big to rig. Did you not hear him, lady? Why are you still talking? That's the end of the discussion. Shut up, you stupid bitch. It's too big to rig. Did you not hear him the first time? Too big to rig. How many times does he have to say the same brain dead slogan that means nothing? He got 3 million more votes. No, actually, he fucking didn't, you goddamn moron. Let's compare the goddamn vote tallies, shall we? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. 2024. Oops, 2024. Election. Vote. Count. Versus 2020. Now, this is November 10th. Okay. You should probably go to the one from fucking 6 days ago instead. 2020, 2022, 2024. And Republican voters, 2020, 2022, 2024. That's 90. I'm assuming this is in millions. That's not millions. He didn't get 93 million. Oh, 93%. 93% say the 2024 election was run and administered at least somewhat well. Okay, what the fuck is this? More voters say the U.S. version. Oh, this is fucking a survey. Where's the fucking numbers? 2020. Can you just give me a goddamn number? That's less than 50% of popular vote. Okay, electoral vote count. Let's just fucking look them up individually then. Got 77 million 100. Okay, so now what was it for 2020? Do they still have the 2021 up there? Wow. 74. 70. What was the last one? 70. 77. So we got 3 million. Okay. And 74. So that's 74 plus 77. So yeah, like, what was the last one? It was an 81. Yeah, so 74 plus 81, that's 100. And God, I suck at math. 81, 74. So yeah, so that's 6 million less votes. I really want to get that accurate. I don't know. It's like 6 million less. But yeah, so you got the 3 million more. But yeah, the overall vote count was like 6 million less than 2020, which also doesn't fucking matter, because if it's rigged, then it can never be too fucking big. That's literally what rigging means.
To the people who say that you're now directing your Justice Department to investigate 2020, and they want to move on.
Very capable.
Is that
I think Pam is going to be great.
Precious resources.
By the way,
is that what you want them to do?
Just so you know, I have the right to do that, but I'm not interested in that.
Oh, you're not. You're not going to do that.
I'm not interested.
Okay.
I have the absolute right. I'm the chief law enforcement officer. You do know that. I'm the president. But I'm not interested in that. You know what I'm interested in? Drilling and getting prices down and stopping people from pouring into our border that come from prisons and mental.
He keeps saying that. I'm interested in drilling. Really? Well, then why the fuck is Biden drilling more than you ever did in your administration, fuckface? Jesus Christ. He keeps on saying, oh, I'm interested in drilling. Really? Well, then what the fuck is this? Why is it... Dude. Biden, oil production, first Trump. From September. Hey, what's this over here? Oh yeah, that's you, way the fuck down there. Seems like you weren't that interested in drilling.
Institutions.
Last two questions here. One of the things that made this campaign unprecedented and extraordinary were the horrific attempts against your life. 2 assassination attempts. Yeah. Do you feel safe going into the White House for the next 4 years?
Yeah, because now he doesn't have to fake any more assassination attempts. He's won.
Why?
I have confidence in Secret Service. I know the people. I got to know a lot of them, and I have confidence. It was a bad moment. Something shouldn't have happened. But I have a lot of confidence, and they've really stepped it up. They were restricted from giving the... Look, I do a rally, and you were at many of them, and I'd have 50,000 people. Joe would have a rally, and he'd have 30 people. And he had more Secret Service than me. My Secret Service was always asking for more manpower / women power. They were asking for more and more and more, and they couldn't get it. I'm not blaming them, really, because they were always fighting for more people, and they wouldn't get... Now, boy, do we have it.
I know it was hard on your entire family. What can people expect from the First Lady?
Yeah, it was really hard on Melania when she heard that he lived.
In this second administration, what role will she play? She obviously had her Be Best campaign.
She's very liked, loved, and she's very respected. And she's a very solid person. And she devotes a lot of time to helping children. You know what she does. And she's got her Be Best.
What? Oh my God. He just says shit. He just, oh yeah, you know what she does. She helps children. Does she? Really? When was that? Name a time she's ever helped children. Oh my fucking God.
A deal that is incredible what she's done. The one thing I say, whether it's First Lady or my children did such a good job, and they were treated very badly by the press and others. Ivanka was unbelievable what she did, and all she wanted.
Well, she must have been to get $2 billion from the Saudis after you were out of office, so they must have done something pretty fantastic. I don't suppose you want to answer any question about that, do you? No, just talk more about Hunter's laptop? Okay, cool.
To do is one thing, get people jobs. She could have been the UN secretary. I said to her, she would have been unbelievable. She's got the whole package for that, including right up there. She's as smart as they... She didn't want. She said, Daddy,
wait a second. What was the rest of the package, including right up there? She's got the brains for it too. I'm sorry. What were the other requirements that you were referring to before that weren't the brains? She's got the whole package, my kid. God, like this just. I'm not even gonna fucking bother.
I want to work on getting people jobs. You know, she'd go to Walmart, she'd go to X such a. She produced millions of jobs for people, not glamorous. Most people didn't know she did it, and she was always being excoriated. And I said to my kids, "Don't come in, don't come in." It's just
you said to them, "Don't."
I said to them, "Yeah."
But will you miss having them there? Will it feel different? They were your top advisors.
I'll tell you what, I'll miss them, and they're really competent. But I say, just go have fun, do your business, do whatever you want to do, but don't come in, because no matter what they did such a great job. Although I have to say, Lara did a phenomenal job as the head of the Republican National Committee, along with Michael.
What will the First Lady's role be, do you think? Will she continue her Be Best campaign?
She's a very elegant First Lady.
What the fuck are these questions, man? God, this bitch sucks.
Based on the press, I should have gotten no votes. None. And I like you.
Based on fucking common sense, you should have gotten no votes. I mean, unfortunately, half the country is fucking retarded.
You covered a lot of policy ground.
It's fair only in that you.
Oh yeah, you covered a ton of policy ground. Remind me what that policy ground was again? Concepts of a fucking plan 8 years later. And oh yeah, gonna be tough on the border. Oh, that's right. And yeah, oh, I'm gonna end that war in Ukraine that I already said was gonna be over in my first 24 hours of being elected. But I super duper pinky swear to end it this time. Yeah, you got a lot of policy stuff done there. You fucking hack. Ugh. Anyway, so yeah, that was Trump's first interview since the election. Aren't you excited for another 4 years of that shit? But let's be honest, he is not gonna do a single fucking interview. He'll do like one of those little softball bitchy no fucking pushback interviews like once every 3 or 4 months, and then that'll be it for the fucking next 3 or 4 months. He'll do like 3 interviews a year. There's not going to be press conferences. He has no fucking reason to actually. Why? To get asked tough questions? No, dude. It's just going to be this. I decree something. Then I shift the blame onto whoever I decreed it onto. And then I fucking fire them to distance myself from any culpability. Rinse and repeat. And that's the next 4 years we have to look forward to. If he even leaves office in 4 years. So, good job, jackasses. And hey, how about those prices that he said he was super duper gonna fucking lower, huh? How you feeling about those one, guys? Huh? You liking it? You liking the strategy? Hey, I can't guarantee I can lower prices. That was fucking awesome. The guy that literally ran on guaranteeing that prices were going to be lower when he got in office is now just like, hey, we'll see what happens. I'm so fucking glad. I'm so fucking glad you idiots are about to get what you deserve. Every one of you fucking morons that voted for him to secure the border. And when he doesn't secure it and instead ships off all your fucking cheap labor and skyrockets prices, I'm so fucking glad. And then when those same fucking people that voted for him to lower prices, I'm so fucking glad you idiots are gonna get everything you fucking deserve. Oh, I can't wait. I can't fucking wait. This is gonna be so fun to watch every fucking day. Every day, I'm gonna remind you dumb fucks, this is what you voted for. Buckle up, bitches, because I am going to enjoy every second of these next 4 years. Every 4 years. Or every second of these 4 years, I should say. It might be every 4 years, who knows? He'll probably rig the system somehow so he can install one of his brain-dead offspring after he leaves office. That's funny. A popular mandate. A popular mandate of 1.6%. Is that what we'll just call anything a mandate now, guy? Really? That's a popular mandate? No, fucking Reagan had a mandate, okay? 1.6% is not a mandate of anything. except a fucking mandate of Republicans to learn what the fuck the word mandate means. But yeah, so I don't know. I guess we have more of this shit to look forward to. I got at least the last 2 weeks worth of news to catch up on, which, I mean, the boring part is it's just his fucking brain dead cabinet picks. Like, that's really all I gotta get caught up on. Is just, hey, this guy's not at all qualified for the job. Oh, this guy's a family member that he pardoned for hiring a hooker to blackmail his brother-in-law, and that's the guy that he just made the ambassador to France. That's who he pardoned in his family, you know. But please tell me more about Hunter Biden. Just, ugh. You know, I think I'm going to be taking a lot of 2 weeks breaks, 2 week long breaks in these next couple of years, but we'll see. Anyway, it's been fun, been a blast. I don't know, maybe I'll fucking try turning this into a video. Probably not. This is just depressing. This is not depressing. It's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. Every single person that voted him should be feeling the utmost to your core fucking shame for what you've done to your country. Like, this is fucking embarrassing. The fact that this isn't the first time. You don't get the, like, free pass that you had in 2016 where we didn't know how bad he was going to be. This is with full knowledge what a pathological liar he was, knowing how corrupt he is, knowing he's a fucking convicted felon, knowing everything that you knew. You did this to your fucking country. You should feel really shitty about yourselves. And I'm going to be here to make sure you do, to remind you what you voted for every single day for the next 4 years. And I'm going to fucking enjoy it. Anyway, until then, I don't know, meet me back here tomorrow for another fun, exciting recap of our slow drift into hell.